go.
freaking stop
There are
overeating,
horse,
Zio. Why did
Hey,
you
horses
Kori.
in the
all that
back.
Hey,
freaking
Kori.
food and then you
What's that you
overate
got
the
in your
Horses
rest
in
hand?
the
of
Is
it,
back.
that...
bro?
Oh my
The
goodness, is that
horses in the
stolen
Man,
book
back.
bundles and
that's
shaved in ice
crazy.
from children? You
I would
kicked a
never.
kid?
All
My good... Sorry about that.
Oh my
Yo,
gosh.
hello! And we're here with the Koi
Hello.
Boys!
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello!
It is I. And it is autumn.
Yee.
It's your boy.
Yo, boy.
Your
Yo,
boy
the
back
boy.
at it again. Oh, there's a black thing on my screen. Hold on. What is happening?
Uh-oh.
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 Get your butthole off the
right
screen,
now,
bro.
get my butthole off the screen. Or tell me what to do.
Man, I hate
There
when
you
that
go.
happens.
Yeah,
Don't you hate it when
man.
your butthole gets on the screen? Just accidentally.
You know, it's just a typical Thursday, you know?
A Turds Day?
Happy Turds Day?
Oh,
Jesus fucking Christ. This was a mistake.
Oh,
And this was
just another day that ends in Y. All right.
this was whose idea was this anyways? I couldn't even tell you.
Oh,
Couldn't
man.
be
It couldn't
me.
it couldn't be me. I don't think it was me.
I guess it leaves me. Hi, I am the culprit. No.
Anyways, hello everybody.
Okay, all right,
Welcome
cool.
to the
All right.
BGM is off, by the way. That's for you, Kori.
Yeah, we're on a different screen. I'm on a different screen right now, so I forget. My BGM's naturally off, but
Oh,
okay,
okay.
it's back on now. Okay, moderators, chill, bro, chill.
Chill, brother. Anyways, welcome to the first ever Koi Bois Special. Zio hit us with the air horns.
Oh yeah, hold on. Give me a moment. Give me a moment.
God damn it!
Check
You
this
have
out.
one
Check this out.
fucking job.
Shit, wrong one.
God
Wrong one.
fucking
Sorry.
damn.
Oh my god, why is that even a soundbite of yours?
Sorry, wrong one. Sorry.
Hit us with the. Please hit us with the air
wrong one.
horns.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
On.
Please.
Wrong one. Shoot. All right, my bad. Which one's the
Jeez.
air horn?
Which
Please.
one's the air horn?
Please.
Aren't you the one who set this shit up, bro?
It says air
Nah, I
horn.
came with
There
it.
you go.
There we
Okay,
go.
My God. And.
Nailed it.
Welcome
Real.
to the Koi Bois Special. Very, very lovely Thursday. We have a fantastic guest with us, Kori Oujo, Ice Princess, IRL Vtuber, all of that stuff. Some might also say she steals snow cones from children. Oh, snow cones? That's not it.
Yikes!
Wild,
Yikes!
dude.
Crazy, bro.
Dang, slander on
Literally
her good
insane.
name.
Shaved ice is
She
what
only
I
did
meant
it
to
to
say.
shaved ice, not
Yes,
snow cones.
yeah,
man. She's
snow
not
cones is a
monster.
different. So how are you, Kori? First things first.
How am I? I'm
Yeah.
I'm alright. I'm not as sleepy today, so I'm happy about that. For sure. Otherwise, I don't know. I had some good food today. Aside from the cookies that I had, they were not that great. Definitely overhyped, but no, I'm good. I feel like now I'm finally starting to like catch up and feel a little bit more like routine schedule since the concert. So I'm a little bit happy about that, like being more in like a routine and stuff. But how about
Nice.
y'all? How are y'all doing?
I'm actually doing quite well. A lot of changes since coming back from Level Up with all y'all. It was super fun, gave me a different outlook on content creation, and really been, just I guess technically just grinding to develop Zio Neo. How about you, Autumn? Pass it into you.
That's good. That's I love that for you. I'm sorry, that
I
sounds so
love
mean.
that for you.
I love that for you. No, that's really
Thank you.
awesome. I've been having some stuff on the works right now. I am saving up for a newer model.
Oh.
I'm looking
Oh wait, hold
into.
on. That's my cue.
Oh
On,
right, there you go.
on,
Air
Oh
horn,
god,
please.
it
on,
takes you so long.
on,
It's like the moment has passed.
on. Oh wait. Oh shit.
Oh
Fucking
Wrong one.
lord.
Wrong
Christ!
one.
Oh my
Boop
God!
boop. All right, cool.
There you go. I'm
Sound guy right
saving.
here.
I'm saving up for a model, specifically for VTubing. So I'm getting more research in for all of that.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I am super excited to invest in this a lot more throughout the year because
Mm.
I love the content I make on TikTok. Like, don't get me wrong, but I I find it easier when the model can be expressed in real time that rather than
Yeah.
like editing the expression
Mm.
post recording all of that.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, gonna be looking into that. Very excited about that. Also, the Koi Boy special. I've also been working on this.
Super proud of you about that.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You- Could you explain to lovely
So
people what is the Koi Boy Special?
yes, I will explain it. So first off, Koi Boys is a name that me and Zio actually landed on when we did. I think was this. I don't remember what number collab that was, but
I
we
think it's
did
the
a
second one.
second one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was okay. So the second collab we ever did together, we played a game called Web Fishing, and we the game has titles and one of the titles was Koi Boys and we just decided that was our title for the game.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was our title,
Yeah.
both of our titles in the game. And um while we were playing the game we were just having deep conversations. We were playing a card game, not sponsored, called We're Not Really Strangers. And essentially, it just asks questions, very personal questions. Not enough to like dox each other out, but like just enough for you to feel things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The questions were like they hit like they had like different levels and tiers, and each higher level just like was like personal in their own different ways. Like some were like more about reflecting on past or internal issues or emotional or things you've gone through or things you learned, and it brought us really like what's cool is like when I first met Autumn, he was very like we were very like connected right from the get-go. We're like, "Oh, I don't really have to show a face to this person, like, I can be myself around these people."
Mm.
So, that game brought us even closer, and it was, like, the second time we really, like, talked and, like, collabed,
yeah.
and I'm really happy we did that, not, like, on, like, our 10th collab, like, "Okay, now we can get close." We try to, like, do it right from the get-go and, just develop, like, our bond during that stream, and, what I like we getting the koi boy tag was fit catching a koi, if you believe it. Um, but I just like really like the name, and I was like telling Autumn like, Autumn, change your name to Koi Boys. He was like, okay. And I was like, we're the Koi Boys now. That's it.
Yeah. Also, like aside from like the deep questions, we also like got into questions about like what's your favorite TV show, what's your favorite like indie game, all of
Mm.
that stuff, and we explained why they were our favorites. And um, the idea of the podcast came when I realized that there is so much emotion that can go through any medium of art,
Right.
and I thought it would be a fantastic way to get to know people's like emotional journeys
Mhm.
through their art or through like other people's art and all of that stuff. So that's essentially what this quote unquote podcast. I don't call it a podcast. But that's what this whole Koi Boy special is all about. Yeah.
Heck yeah. I
100%.
love that. That's super cool. No, I know if people in the chat don't know, Autumn has worked on a lot of music as well. A lot of sad boy hour type music. But
Damn.
no, just kidding. It's true. I'm just
It's
Howdy.
true.
saying. It's true. But it's really great music as well. Like I think, capturing even just to capture emotion in a song is a trial in itself. And it's
100%.
something that I feel like I struggle with even to this day, like trying to have emotion in, your vocals or coming through with the different dynamics in the music production as well. It's
Mm.
very complicated. And Autumn
Mhm.
has also worked on like kind of video game inspired music as well, right? Kind of
Yeah.
like the yeah, so I think that's really neat as well. And that's kind of like what inspired your name, I think, right? As well.
Yeah. Yeah. Autumn was a name I chose from a project that me and my friend had worked on, a musical project that me and my friend worked on called Autumn Foxes. And I told my friend, I'm gonna use this name. Is that okay? And she was like, okay. She was,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm excited today. I'm excited to be chatting with the lovely Autumn J Fox and Zioneo as well.
All
So
right. Well, that's my cue, everybody.
no, I'm excited.
Hey,
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me.
no, of course. I'm really happy that you're our first guest, and I feel it's fitting because the Koi Boys wouldn't happen without Kori Oujo. That's
Mm.
the honest God truth. Because me and Autumn met through Corey's chat, and we,
Uh oh. Wait.
uh,
Uh-oh.
yeah,
Did Zio cut out? Did I cut out?
You
huh?
froze.
Did I
I'm right here.
freeze?
Yeah, you froze.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Uh
There
oh.
you go.
Am
Uh,
I back? Am I back
you're
now?
you're back now.
yeah.
That's so weird.
That was
The
weird.
scuff, the
That's
scuff
never
adds the
happened before.
charm.
Okay. Sorry, Zio. Could you rewind a little bit?
Yeah, you're good. So basically, the Koi Boys wouldn't exist without Kori Oujo, and that's the honest God truth. Because me and Autumn both met each other through Corey's chat, and what's great is like I'm relatively a newer viewer to Corey's community. Like I've been watching it for 10 months, and Autumn has been close to 2 years.
No.
I don't fully know.
No, we just hit the year
No.
mark.
Yeah, we hit a
Yeah,
year mark like
because we
a
met
Oh,
at
okay.
while
Level
So we're
ago.
like
Up.
a
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, so we were like a few months off,
Bro,
man. I'm a
fake
fake friend.
fan,
Big
bro.
fan of
Sorry,
Auto.
dude. Sorry. Anyways, let me get a little sappy. But yeah, like we right from the get-go, like me and Autumn were like joking. Like I saw him like, man, feel thirsty. If only I had some gamer subs, that's 10% off with code Corey. Like that was like our running joke. We would bring it up every time we see each other. And like uh I was like, this guy's hilarious. And then I started streaming for a bit, and like Autumn popped on my stream, and we were like making jokes like we did in Corey's chat, and we just mentioned like, hey, you want to do a collab? And after two collabs, we did the web fishing, as you guys know, and really formed that friendship and the Koi Boys because of Corey. And I want to say thank you for just existing, Corey, because I'm very grateful to have Autumn as really my best friend. I'm really grateful to like I wouldn't be here without you. So yeah.
Aw, that's cute. Well, I thought I was your best friend. What the fuck? What the
Shit.
fuck?
Oh
Yeah.
god, I think
I
the
gave you
stream's
the
getting
friendship
scuffed real
bracelet.
quick.
Just
You
kidding.
did.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, thank you guys so much for coming to the stream. I'm gonna end it
uh
right. So
oh but
first question that I do have for you is what inspired you to do music like entirely? Not entirely, but like what inspired you to do music?
Man, okay, so for me, there's a couple of different tiers to this question. I
Mm.
guess where it started was when I was like a kid, and I would literally like I'd get home from school, and only child life. I didn't have any siblings to deal with and to talk to, so I would just like play instrumentals, like Vocaloid instrumentals, and I would just like freestyle to those instrumentals like as a kid. And the reason why is because at the time I knew that in like a year or two I was gonna go into um this like choir class that was available to only like certain grades in my school. And so I was like, I gotta like train my voice. I gotta be like the best singer, like, you know, in my dumb brain. And so I started like doing freestyling and music stuff when I was a young, like a kid. And then I was inspired to do it because I was like, I'm gonna be in this class and I want to be good at singing. And so I just gotta practice using my voice and stuff, right? So then eventually, you know, years go by, and then I think the first time that I worked on like more of a full length album, quote unquote, was when I was in college. And university is literally like the worst time of my life. Like I have never been that
Mhm.
stressed ever in my life.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So
that sounds about right.
yeah, exactly. So I feel like when I was in university, like it just became a way for me to like express my all the stress that I had, and just a mechanism for me to like detox, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was nice. I mean, I think a lot of the songs I had back then was kind of similar to like Autumn's genre of music, where it's a lot more like, you know, quiet and sad boy hour type shit and like R&B. But yeah, so I did a lot of that when I was like in college, and then like I graduated and then I got into VTubing pretty much right after that. And one of the reasons why I decided to join VTubing or get into VTubing was because I would be able to use it as like a platform to post the kind of music projects that I, you know, was going to work on and whatnot, versus like before I just had no place to put it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
so for me, I don't know. I think when I was in college, I was inspired by the like stress that I had and just like the hardships I was going through. And I think now what inspires me with music is I think just trying to grow as an artist. Like I want to continue to see where I could go with it and
Yeah.
tell a story. Like that, obviously English degree with an emphasis on
Mhm.
creative writing. Like I'm not a song I didn't like major in music, and I don't have many or much songwriting skills, but I do have skills in just like writing stories and creating a narrative. And so for me, it's like that's what I'd like to do with my music. And so that I think that's what inspires me now, is really just like Corey's lore and just being able to tell a story through a different medium other than like full length like long ass fucking stories, because like those are so much like
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
like novels and short stories are so much fucking work, and it's just a different type of like writing style. Like nobody in this industry wants to actually read like a fucking 20-page short story about somebody's lore. Like if you can't
Mhm.
summarize it in 30 seconds and nobody gives a shit, you know what I mean? At
Yeah,
least
like
in
fast
Yeah.
content, yeah.
right. Exactly, exactly. And
Mhm.
so I think like with music, I can both have something that is a creative element, like people can stream it and listen to it, but it's also something where I can express my story, or Corey's story, as well as I guess mine as too, because like
Mhm.
a lot of my lyrics stem from both like Corey's lore, or and my story. So it's like my story as a person and as a streamer, um, really coordinated through Corey's lore and stuff. So that's I think what inspires me now is like my journey and trying to correlate that with like Corey's lore. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's a
Okay,
good
inspiring.
that's
answer.
awesome.
Yeah, that's
Thank
Yeah, that's
I love
great.
that.
Uh, I
you.
have a follow-up question, like, would you consider that, like, your sound? Like, when you found your voice of music, of, like, the type of music you primarily not like a genre, but the sound you do. Like, you primarily do, like, storytelling music, like, that's how you get your, like, uniqueness from. Would you say it's that, or are you still discovering, like, what your it's a very broad question, but would you consider that, like, your sound for your type of music?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because there's the music that I write to be released, and then there's music that I write to not be released, and it's like complete opposites
Oh.
end of the
Mhm.
spectrum. Like I said, I think like natural flowing like just shit that just comes off the noggin is more closer to like Autumn's music, which is why I like Autumn's music so much, is because it's like
Mhm.
I like resonate with that style and whatnot. And so I think it's like kind of weird. So like my sound as a person, I feel like yeah, like through Corey, I guess it is like that narrative building. Um, and I think maybe just like that pushing, because I feel like the metal screaming thing, I didn't realize this until during the concert or like right after
Mhm.
it, but I didn't realize that like there's not a lot of VTubers that do the metal growl. And so I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, maybe that's like part of my sound now, is that like that I can do something like that that not many other people in this industry at least can do. And so I
Mhm.
don't know, like it's really hard to say. Like so in that sense I'm like pushing my voice and pushing like where I can go with it with the metal scream.
Mhm.
But then yeah, like as far as my natural music, like the music that just comes natural to me, or like the things that I freestyle, I think my sound is more so just that, like just free, like legit freestyling. Like there is not like a structure to the songs that I do just for
Mhm.
fun.
Mhm.
So I enjoy that kind of like not
Oh,
having
I
a
love that.
structure. Yeah, yeah. But then the songs I do for Kori, they're a lot more structured because I'm trying, like it's through the mechanism of telling a
It
story.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes sense. Like, especially like with Corey, like how you promote and like continue her story instead of like you saying like do more visual novels or write a book or short
Right.
story or like animated or whatever. You're able to push that with the lyrics of your music and also like the journey you're going on as Kori Oujo. Like a
Right.
good example is like your most recent song. Um, sorry. uh Totally not looking up your song name.
The race to the
Crazy.
top, or
Racist stop, thank you. I'm so sorry. I listen to YouTube Music and I it's not on YouTube Music. Uh, but Racist Top is such a good example. Like your journey right now is because you're so dead set focused on like like nothing holding you back, nothing holding anybody back, and it's so cool coming from like, for example, like lonely but not alone to now race to the top.
Mhm.
It's just so beautiful to see that like growing journey of like the Kori Oujo, who's still discovering herself to Kori Oujo that's just filled with so much power. So that's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I think Race to Top is interesting because there is like a little bit of Corey's story in there, but for the most part, I honestly just made that song because of the NASCAR driver partnership. And so
That's funny.
to be honest, a lot of the lyrics that are in the song are inspired by Michael and like what he told me about he enjoyed with like racing. Like I asked him like what is it about it? Like obviously there's so much you could say, but like for him, what does he feel when he's on that racetrack? And he
Mhm.
said like he the biggest thing that stuck with me about what he said was that he felt like he could be in control of his destiny. And so I have like that line in Race to the Top, if you remember.
Mm.
Um,
Mhm.
I don't remember the exact lyrics, but I do talk about like destiny in the song, and a lot of it is just has to do with like what Michael told me. So I think that song could feel a little bit like an exception, but at the same time, I do feel like it was written in a way that like I knew it was going to be the last song in the concert, so I wanted it to feel
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
we're all on top of the world, like ending like the climax of the concert, you know. So I did
Mhm.
write it in that way as well. So yeah, but
It
thank you for
definitely
mentioning
felt
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
definitely felt that at the concert. Me and Autumn were dancing like crazy. It was
I
awesome.
saw the
It's like
video.
it was a good ending to the
Yeah.
night, honestly.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
very fun. Fucking definitely on an energy high, that's for sure. Like
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like after it
100%.
ended, I was just like, what do I do with this energy? I'm so pumped up right now.
You like hugged a wet towel, right?
That's
All right.
crazy. That's
Crazy.
crazy.
I
There's no
can't believe you
way.
hugged a random wet towel. Ew.
Yeah. That Jesus Christ.
Those of you who don't know, I was drenched in sweat because I promised Corey that I would not pass out after 3 songs of doing the uh what the I can't
With
say it.
Toge? Mhm.
What's okay, thank you. But I did the whole set and I did it until the freaking the final song when it was done and over while everybody was screaming encore. I'm like encore and I collapsed to the ground.
Real.
But it was for sure like a happy anime ending. Like it felt like a happy ending for an anime. It was so cool just being with everybody, like old friends and new friends. Just dancing and jumping in the air like we don't care, and just it was such a key moment in my life, and I'm sure many other people's lives.
Yee.
Yeah, core memory for
Mm.
sure, 100%. Uh,
I'm glad to hear that.
Mhm.
you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Next question.
No problem.
Yeah,
No,
you're
no
welcome,
problem,
bitch.
bro. No problem. That'll be $10 for the support.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, um,
I,
what uh, what song was the hardest for you to write?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Let me bring up my discography because I don't know.
No problem. Like it doesn't even have to be like in a technical standpoint. It could also be like emotional, or just like your brain wasn't working at the time when you're writing this.
Armadillo Billy. I'm sorry.
Bruh. Bruh.
That's my cue.
Yeah, time for you to go, Zio. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Which one's the hardest for me to write? I'm looking through it right now. Sorry, I'm looking to the side.
No,
To
you're
the
good.
invisible screen.
Shardadillo silly pack, please.
Hey yo.
Damn. Also, Shogun's here. Hi, Shogun.
Hi
I know.
Shogun.
Autumn has to call him a cutie. It's
Oh,
law.
Shogun. Yeah, cutie pie. The cutie
Aw.
pie himself.
Hmm.
I can't see his comments.
I'll read it to you. Don't worry.
Okay.
There you go.
Jeez. Okay. I don't know. I think I might have to say either The Price or Solstice. Solstice because it was the first. Well, it was the easiest, actually. Okay, Solstice was like a
Oh.
weird one because
Mm.
it was the first time that I took directly from the visual novel, and I like took lines that I wrote in the visual novel because I'm more of a short story writer. That's like one of the classes I took when I was in university, and so I'm like pretty adept on doing that. But like songwriting, I'm not, right. And so I was like, how can I can like write some really beautiful lines when I'm not trying to write a song. So why don't I just take some of the lines that I wrote in the VN and see how I can actually make it into lyrics into a song. And so Solstice was the first time that I did that, and so that made it a little bit more complex of me to like write the lyrics to because I was using lines directly from the VN. It was the first time that I did that.
Mm.
And so I would say that or The Price. And The Price is because the beat itself, like what I wanted the song to be was just a little bit different than what I had written before. Like it was the start of Celestial Curse, basically. Like this was the
Mhm.
bridge to get there, and there needed to be like some sort of like anger or like evil in it. And so I was like, how do I make it evil and angry or like a little bit of that? It doesn't need to be full blown because that's when we're going to get to Celestial Curse, but how do I incorporate like that particular type of emotion into this song? Especially when like it's not really a song where like you're yelling or screaming per se. I did kind of
Mhm.
like do like a yell chant in the second chorus of The Price. Which I thought was like kind of cool. But like that was like the ways that I was trying to experiment with like the emotion of anger and envy and desire at the same time. So like those were the emotions I was trying to play with The Price. And so with that, I think that made it a very difficult song because I wanted it to be really good and I wanted it to also like bridge the gap between my old music or the music that came before Celestial Curse and then Celestial Curse, right? So I'd say The Price probably, but that's it. There you go. That's my answer. Final answer.
Show me the price.
Damn.
The
Man.
buzzer. Hold on, wait. On. Sound
Oh, you
effects.
got
Hold
it.
on. Hold on.
Oh
I got
Oh
damn.
one.
God.
I got one. Give me a moment. Give me a
Jesus.
moment. Give me a moment. All right,
Ah.
wrong one. All right, my bad. All right, my bad.
Do you
My
ever
bad.
hit the right one first?
I mean, so
Is
many
that a setting and you
options.
so many
I,
options?
This is our tactic
okay,
to make the
I don't.
stream
This is a
longer.
dumb bit. I don't have a sound, so you know. What'd you say?
What? Nothing. I didn't say anything. No one knows our
Listen back in the
secret.
bud.
That's a really good answer. I love how most of your songs do sound cinematic in a way. Like I
Mhm.
really I really appreciate like that beauty in your songwriting, how each section you can like visualize anything. I like music like that. That's why like whenever I say in your chat like anime opening, that's legit what I that's legit what I see. I see anime openings like playing in every song that you make, and
Mm.
I I think that's like super cool. Like compared to
Mhm.
compared to my stuff
I
where
feel that
it's
with
just
like
like
Unmelting Snow, like
oh yeah.
that one gets me hyped up. I remember hearing that for the first time. That whole album was awesome because I brought back out like my inner punk when I would like listen to like not like screamo, yeah, but like I would purposely like listen to like what Corey type of like punk, which was like screamo mixed with melody, mixed with like storytelling. Like that's what got me excited.
Mhm. Heck yeah.
But
No, well, thank you.
yeah. Mm.
How about
Uh,
um gosh. Golly gosh. There was a question, but I think you already answered it. But I'm gonna ask it anyways. Um
Heck yeah.
what led you to making your making Celestial Curse of Rock album? Like what inspired the idea for you to do that?
Yeah, so I, at the time of deciding that I was gonna do another album, I actually was listening to a lot of Bring Me the Horizon, Passcode, Baby Metal, just a bunch of different like
mm,
just metal music in general. And I was like, man, I like the way that this is like this genre of music is in a lot of ways untouched by mass media. Like someone else had talked about it. Someone who literally I can't remember their name, but they're like a vocal coach and they teach a bunch of different like singers how to do meadow screams properly so they don't like burn out their vocal cords. And they
mhm.
were saying like the reason why they got into it was like they were a vocal coach like normally before, but then they decided to like get into the metal screaming like specific those metal songs or songwriters and vocalists because they had like a friend who was part of a band that did that, and they like ended up having to like get surgery and like because they just tore up their vocal cords, and the vocal coach was like, if you just knew how to use this muscle properly you wouldn't have this much damage. And so they kind
Oh,
of got into like that they got into that to that industry, like the metal screaming growl industry of vocalists and stuff, and they said that the other thing that really drew them to like this genre of music was that it was untapped or untouched by just like the media or like what society deems as pop music, as popular music. And that the lyrics and the instruments and the feelings like they didn't need to fit like a particular cookie cutter type of thing in order to be successful. And so I felt like that resonated with me at the time as well, and still now. Like I think it's I don't know if I would ever call myself like a pop music writer. Like I do enjoy the pop genre as most people do, but I like certain songs. I don't like the entire genre of music. And so for me, like I don't think I'd ever write pop music, but at the same time, like that's what's popular, right? And so
yeah.
I felt like when I was listening to stuff like the metal rock genre, it was really refreshing to listen to music that just was unfiltered, at least in my feelings and thoughts and opinion.
Mhm.
So listening to that music really inspired me. I also actually got to see like Baby Metal and a bunch of other like rock metal artists live as well.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. And just like the energy, like it's a cool genre because it doesn't need to be like electronic dance
Mhm,
or pop music for people to like want to like headbang or mosh pit. Or I know like that's the
mhm.
version of it of dancing, but mosh pitting and headbanging is a form of dance in my brain. So I'm like, people want to
I
get
see
up and
that.
do something. Yeah, that's what I think is really great about like metal
I'm
rock
s
music.
mhm.
Yeah, is that like they want to like you makes you want to like move in some way, whether that
Yeah.
means punching a keyboard or slamming your forehead into the table, like like that makes you want to move. So I think that's really great about that genre. And then
Mhm.
also I think at the time I was facing a lot of like anger. I mean even up until like the concert, I was facing a lot of like anger and frustration with like my own journey and all of the shit of like why am I not given opportunities when the people that don't deserve it get it instead? Why
Mhm.
are they blowing up doing something, but I try to do something and it doesn't work that way? Like just common content creator bullshit, you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think a lot of that anger I was able to really condense and put it into my music, put it into the metal growls, like get it out so that way it doesn't like ruin my day to day. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
Mhm.
have that platform to do that. And so, yeah, I would say that's what inspired me is just like being able to be upset on the microphone and yell into it, which I do already on stream. So really, it's like nothing. It's all cohesive branding, really. But no.
Sounds
And
about
then
right.
yeah, and I felt like the same thing was happening in Corey's journey because I know that like if I was in Corey, and I mean if you played the second visual novel, then obviously you know. But
Mhm.
I know Zio and Autumn played it, so they understand. But like in the second visual novel, there's a lot of like anger of just like there's all these things that Kori Oujo tried to do in this timeline, had tried to do to like gain the trust of her kingdom, of her people, and then she like got betrayed by those people and or
Mhm.
feels like they got betrayed by those people and then takes this oath that like is behind the scenes, nobody even knows like what she's signing up to do for the sake of this planet. um and yet she has to like shoulder that all and shoulder up all the power that comes with this, but also the hatred from the people, from the different conflicts that are going on in the world. And so I felt like it was really fitting for like Corey's journey as well, as a character. And some of the stuff that happened to Corey actually did happen like to like the content creator Corey as well. Like
Mhm.
some of the characters that were a part of the first visual novel, they end up
Yeah.
leaving, and like
Mhm.
Corey in the second one, and that is what happened more or less. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think there just was a lot of anger, I think, in me at that time, and I was listening to angry music, and so I was like, well, how do I make angry music? And so that's what happened. And then I just was like, I did the metal growl in Throne originally. Like, it was the first ever time that I did a metal growl on a song was on
Mhm.
Throne, and people actually really liked Throne. And Throne I thought was gonna be a shit song because it was purely an experimental song, and I just finished it. I was like, whatever, fuck it, release it. And people actually really liked it, and so I was like, oh, maybe I can do more of this, but like I need to hone it a little bit more, and so
Nice.
it felt like a cool new skill that I can learn as like a vocalist as well. Because all the like music shit, I mean, Autumn, you get it. Like it's all a lot of technical shit, like plugins and then fucking music theory. Like that
Yeah.
shit that's fucking terrible. I'm tired of dealing with that shit at some point. Whereas like if I'm trying to learn like a vocal skill, like that just comes down to like physical practice, versus like trying to
Mhm.
Mm.
figure out a fucking program or a doll. Like I'm tired of that. Like I just want to it was nice to like divert from learning all of those tools so that way I could just like grow as like a human being in some way. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Mhm.
long-winded ass answer, but I hope that made sense.
No, yeah, no, definitely,
That was
definitely
awesome.
was a very detailed answer, but it makes sense. Like, fucking, you angry, you want to release anger in a
Mm-mm.
specific way.
Caveman,
So,
ooga
Cave
booga.
Mary, Cave.
I start fire.
And you did start
Mosh
fire.
pit. Mosh pit.
You started fire with an album that you guys can stream on Spotify and other
True, true.
and
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
other streaming platforms.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. It's funny because that also like can help me segue to this question. I know you talked about like um not wanting to put Corey's lore in like fucking oh my god, we just had this conversation.
It's okay.
It's okay. um I guess okay, the question is like what type of medium would you think would be super cool to see Corey's lore in? Like animation or um yeah, like animated series or comic series or something like that.
Like a webtoons or something like that. or
Hmm.
like other like short form story content that's not like what you already done?
I think a game would be cool. I mean, I know that a visual novel like game is one thing, but I think
Mhm,
like I don't know what kind of game. I guess that's like the problem
Mm.
because it can't be a visual novel
mm,
game.
mm.
I want to say some
JRPG?
maybe I don't really like JRPG like styles of games, but like I think it makes the most sense for that style because it
Or you
I'd
can make it
want
like
to.
near.
Okay, yeah, probably something like that. Because like I think what's really neat about Kori's story is that like everybody I know a lot of VTuber stories are like this, but
Mm.
there's like different kingdoms and like in the second game you do
Mm,
get to kind of explore. You get to go. It's the first time that Kori as a character gets to go outside of the Kori kingdom. She goes to
mm.
the what was it again? I can't remember the name, even though I wrote the fucking story. But she goes to the kingdom, the Chi kingdom. Sorry, she goes to the Chi kingdom, which is like basically like the element of like rock and ground. And so it's really nice because in my story, and if you are on the Discord, like we have D&D nights that Shogun hosts, and like I actually worked with Shogun to like really write out like what the different kingdoms were, and it's a little
Mhm,
bit the time that Shogun's doing it though, like holding the D&D sessions is before Kori Ojo's time, so it doesn't actually affect like Kori's story, but like it's
mhm,
the same concept of like what those kingdoms at least used to be, right? And so I think there's a lot of like there. You know, I think there's so much that you could play around with and use as like a basis for like a video game because like I
that's
already have
awesome.
like the kingdoms like figured out and like what types of magics or people would be there, you know, like I
Yeah.
already have all that shit figured out. So I feel like all that's missing
Mhm,
is that like visual component basically.
yeah.
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 Mhm.
That'd be
Yeah,
super
like
cool.
world building is especially like hard to do with like when I first started playing like the your visual novels, I was like beyond impressed. I'm like, this is so in depth and I love it. And it has like your own charm to it. And
Hmm.
like with all like the whole world building, the magic, the
The
characters,
fart
the
jokes.
different kingdoms.
The
It's
shit
so
myself
The
ending,
shit.
yeah. The
still
shit
pissed I
ending.
didn't do it. I was so
Nah.
mad. But uh yeah, like as you know, like I do my own kind of short story content and
Mm-hmm.
I love creating my own stories, uh and I understand like the difficulty of creating a world.
Right.
I I always try to stay away from that for me personally because like
Mm.
I it's intimidating. I always like just doing like the story of this one person going through this shit. Like
Mm.
but just seeing like how in depth your world is, like in a way like not to like compare to like anything like this, but like you know, Game of Thrones like has like all the other like kingdoms and stuff like that.
Right.
It just reminds me of like of that where like with your own charm. It's so cool. Like I believe like I can visualize Xylon in my mind right now,
Right.
and you do such a great job explaining that in your games, and especially like Shogun. I visit the D&D streams here and there when I can. When I'm at work, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just so cool to like find out more lore of in a way like a prequel or like a prequel of just
Right.
how
Right.
Xylon was formed and kind of gives you like some hints towards where like, oh, this influences Corey's story in a little way like this and a little way like
Right.
that. But I'd agree with you. I think it'd be really cool to see your your story put in like a RPG kind of format or like just visiting the kingdoms or something like that and
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't know, but I just know you could do a lot with it, so that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if like Autumn can answer this question as well because like Autumn, I don't know, like do you write short stories like or do you just kind of do like songwriting? Like what type of writing
I
do you do?
so I there was a part a part in time, I think it was like after high school when I was like 22 or whatever. I used to do little short stories on like a subreddit where it would give you a
Oh.
prompt and
Oh,
like yeah, they would give you a prompt and then you just write down the story in like the comment section, and I used to do that a lot. And I don't write stories now because
Mm-hmm.
like I love writing free form like poems or just like lyrics in general. But yeah, the amount of writing I did for like short stories was pretty minimal, but it was super fun. I just remembered a lot of them started like kind of openly, like they didn't have a specific opening to it. It kind of just like drags you in, and then the ending was like a surprise thing. Like,
Mhm.
ooh, this person was
Mhm.
actually dead the whole time, and he was talking to a ghost, like something like,
Right.
like
Every good
something like that.
story, like starts like with a beginning, middle, and a twist. It's like a quote from like the Goosebumps guy,
Mm.
R.L. Stein. Um, actually, he took the quote from his own movie. The guy of Jack Black played him, but that quote is so true. Where like it's always good to have a twist in the end, not just like a predictable ending. And I have a question for both of you guys, if
Wait,
you
I have a
don't
question
mind.
first. Wait, I have a
Wait,
question.
she
Wait, write
has
Oh,
down
I'm
more.
your
so
She
sorry.
has
question
more
because I had a
questions.
Oh,
question. Yeah,
oh, I'm so
because
sorry. I'm so
I
sorry.
am the star of the show. Okay, I'm
Sorry,
the
sorry,
like
sorry.
I am the guest. No, I'm
Right.
kidding.
Let me change the background to Corey
My bad.
boys.
My bad. My bad. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so wait, sorry, but I did have a question. So, I wanted to ask both of you, like, because Zio was saying that you avoid writing about like the setting. So, would you say that you're more focused on like what is your number one like pinnacle of like how you start writing a story? Is it like, oh, I think this character development would be interesting, and then you build the character out from that and build the story out from that? Or is it, because for
Mm,
me, to help give an example, for me it's more so the setting. For me, like that's probably why my setting feels so like thought out, is because I think about the setting first and what
mm,
an interesting setting would be, and then I think about what type of character would be interesting to read about while they're dealing with
yeah.
this setting. And then I think about their internal conflicts and external conflicts, which external conflicts are already kind of figured out by like the setting itself. But I need there to be like a macro conflict and a micro conflict, and then obviously the internal conflict. And then from there, I like build the story of the character's like development as well. And so for
Mm,
me, I start though, like my pinnacle is like the setting. And so like my question for both of you was going to be like, what is your start? Like, what is the concept that you start with as you're writing like a story, basically? So I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, it
yeah.
does. It
Okay,
totally
okay,
does. Like,
yeah.
I love that question. Yeah. So the type of storytelling I'll start with this is like the type of storytelling I like to make, and it's kind of funny when I really think about it. In a way, it's kind of like isekai, but not really. It's just more. I love stories where a normal character, normal person, just gets just having like a normal day, but he's taken out of his element, like how in isekais, and not in like different worlds, but just strange things happening to this person. Like I like to call it like uh the abnormal affecting the normal.
Okay.
That's like my main type of favorite stories where like for example, I like I love it when like not necessarily like magic, but like odd things start happening around like a normal character where he has like internal struggles because of it. He has to adjust, not just like, oh, I don't know what to do. This is crazy. I guess I'll just die or like stuff like that. No, I would want like I love making the stories where like, okay, this is crazy. I need to adjust. I need to change in order for me to get through this and like figure out my way through it.
But
Not necessarily.
is the this a character or a setting? Because like I don't, maybe just because of my
Mm,
English degree, but like the way that like stories are broken, or like the
yeah.
framework of stories, they're not like there is not a category that's like it's getting isekai. Like that's not a category. So I'm
No, no,
like,
no. I know.
my
Yeah.
question is like,
Uh,
is it the character? Do you
it's
start with the character or like the setting? Sorry, I'm just like trying to
oh
nail
yeah.
down. I'm trying
Oh
to
yeah,
nail
yeah. So
down your
it starts with the
understanding.
character. Sorry,
Okay,
it
because
starts
it's
with the character.
interesting because you said what you said sounds more like setting.
Well, it gets to the setting. So it starts with the character of like just yeah. It starts with the character like getting to know him and his like internal like issues, and then gradually goes
Okay.
moves towards the setting of like showing his like normal setting of like his normal everyday, but then something gets like the abnormal drops in to his normal setting and starts to change it, like,
Okay.
gradually.
Okay.
I hope that makes sense. I'm not the best with, like, words. I'm good at, like, telling the story, but, like, I'm terrible at, grammar, as we all know. So I always have to, like, hire editor or have people, like, refine my stories, but, um, yeah, like, I've always been like, I that's the type of stories I make where the abnormal affects the normal, and it does go from, like, the character internally and eventually leads to the setting. I hope that
Okay.
helps. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
no, that's what I was trying to understand is like what starts first? Like what do you think about first? And like it sounds
mm,
like you think about the character first and then you think
yeah,
about like how would this like what would make this character externally like have conflict in their like
yeah,
personality or their behavior or something like that. Okay. All right. That no,
exactly.
that makes sense. Okay. What about you, Autumn? Or do you want to like skip the question? I don't know if like if you've thought like so heavily about that. So I asked you
No,
because
it's
you're like right stories, but
it's okay. I like if I could remember like the earliest writing that I've ever done. I do remember there was like this really short story that I wrote was that was basically inspired by uh there was this story called like oh my god.
oh, you
It,
wrote the story?
I wrote it, but it was
Okay.
inspired. Okay, no, it was inspired by the first season of Fargo, the show.
Fargo?
Oh,
Fargo, not Fartgo.
Fargo.
Fargo,
Fartgo?
far.
Fart?
Wait, 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 wait,
Fargo?
wait, 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 hold on.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I shit myself.
Okay.
Corey,
Damn.
really? Live?
My bad, my bad. I got my bucket underneath my chair, so I'm safe.
Good. Thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's so stupid. But the story I was writing, it was for this prompt on Reddit, and they do these things like it's a picture prompt. So like whatever you see, whatever like picture you're looking at, just make a story that deals with that setting or like has to deal with has to deal with the setting itself. And I remember writing the story of this little trigger warning. Little trigger warning. It is about the domestic yeah
Violence,
yes,
right.
and
Yeah.
uh it was really interesting because I started off writing the characters first. I was like
Mhm.
I made sure to make it important that this is the kind of relationship that these two characters have. One is a really shitty person and the other person is at their last straw. Like that was the main focus of that. So I when I start, I usually do start with characters because I always think that that's as important, if not the most important
Yeah.
thing, before writing a setting.
I agree. 100% agree. Like, especially like characters. The characters make the story. Because you can make a cool world, but if you have uninteresting characters, it falls flat. And you see that with like so many medias. But if you really can hone in on a character that, for one thing, like relate to and like understand what's going in their shoes, but you've never been in their shoes, like it's like telling truth in fiction.
Yeah.
And like I 100% agree with you there.
I'm indifferent.
Really? Oh
Well,
my
I
god, we're
mean,
at a
That's
like,
fun.
crossroad.
I think it depends on your writing style. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to. It's like, where do you feel you can shine the most in your writing? You know, like,
Mm.
I'm the opposite of you guys. Like, I write setting first, but that doesn't mean that my character Corey lacks any type of development or type
No.
of
Yeah.
personality, right? Like, you know, so I think it really just boils down to your own writing style. Like, if you, because I don't care what you do. Like, if you start off with a concept, like, you know, something that's really intense like mental health and stuff like then you really do
Mhm.
need to like frame up like what kind of character how do you want to portray mental health because mental health is a very those types of sensitive subjects are very obviously sensitive they're very
Yeah.
difficult to write about because there is like an element of like is the author telling the truth as well? Because when you're dealing with
Yeah,
mental health, it's like you don't know if like you can trust what you're reading sometimes, because if
100%.
if they're seeing things that you're not supposed to be seeing, then how do you know if that's real, you know? So like there's so many elements that go into writing. I don't think there's like one that's better than the other of how you start off. I do
Mm.
think something kind of funny, like how you said that line about like having a twist and stuff. So funny. So one of the classes that I took in university, this is just a fun fact that I think is hilarious, but they were
Mhm.
like, you had to apply to get in the fucking class. First of all, terrible. It was a required
Uh,
fucking class, and you had to apply to get into it. And I was like, just shitting myself because I was trying to graduate in 4 years, and it was like I have to fucking
oh.
apply for it, and I might not get in, and then I might not be able to graduate. So it was stupid. Anyways, basically, there were probably like 14 or 15, not more than 20 people in this class because you had to apply for it, right? And it was really small. And every single person in that class, and this is not a joke, this is not exaggeration, every single person had an element of death in their story. Every single one had a
Mm.
death or had someone that had died, and that's why it's impacting the story.
Yeah.
And that was like their main focal point of conflict. Now, my story was the only one that did not have any death in it. It was crazy. Just a fun fact. I just wanted to share that because I just didn't. I think at the time, like everybody thought, like the twist or like the best, most emotional, impactful thing is death, but it's like that's so not true. I mean,
Mm.
yes, is it
No, I
impactful?
get
A
what you
hundred
mean.
percent. Yeah, it's 100% impactful, but like just moving is super impactful too. Like trying to
Mm.
reorganize your house is impactful. If you are dealing with a character that has mental health issues, just leaving the house can be a huge struggle and conflict in itself. Death is not the best mechanism, I feel like, for emotional, impact,
Yeah.
but regardless, I just think it's funny because like I don't know. Like what are the chances that every single like 19 other people include death in their
It
story?
it's so true though. I was in creative writing class in college and
Mhm.
same thing happened. Like where like we were able to like present our stories. And what's funny, I was part of the problem too. So like I made a story called Cold Hands and it was about like um well, I guess the really like twist was like involving afterlife, not really like the death is right there.
Mm.
Um but it's like it involved like afterlife and like mythology. But what's funny, most of the people there, same thing, where it's just like the twist was about either like death or somebody's gonna die or
Right.
it cuts off like, oh my god, open ending. Now they died. It's not really open,
Right.
it led to it, but I could see it's like the easy mechanism of like, oh, this is an easy twist. Like,
Right.
which is nothing wrong with it. People can do it really well. I uh but I do see what you mean by like it can be overdone if you don't do it like in your own unique way, like how you said, like authentic to your own writing style to like make it different,
Yeah.
whether it's like
Mm.
through death or mental health as a twist or just something like to really like the hardest thing is being different from everybody. And it's very easy to do what's comfortable. And it's
Right.
honestly like good to get out of your element as well,
Yeah.
to do good different type of writing. Like in a way, like with your music, like you never done a rock album before and you did a song for the first time and you didn't think it was gonna be good, but it came out really good.
Mm.
And you're like, oh, let me dive deeper into this. Like I never
Right.
really like gave it a shot. And look at you now, you have got the whole album. So it's taken from like these different outlooks, different like little uh like genres or different type of directions you could take and implement into your core storytelling style.
Right.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to divert so deeply.
No,
You're good. I
you're
love this.
no, you're good. This is what it's for. This is conversation. We're
Yeah.
having yeah. I don't want this to be one sided. I ask you a question and then you answer this. I want all of us.
Yes,
I want
no,
all of us. I
maybe.
want
I don't
all
wanna
of us
talk about it.
involved.
Are we done now?
It's so
Oh,
funny that you compared it to that because like it does remind me about like music writing too because like there's a lot of songs and a lot of songs that share the same lyrics and the same melody for that lyric,
Right.
and um it shows a lot, specifically in like emo music. I
Oh
realized
yeah.
that they say the word tonight. They say the word
They
tonight a
do.
lot. They say the word tonight a lot, and it's
Tonight.
just like, oh my god, yeah, exactly. And it's just like, oh, okay, cool.
For me,
Very,
the like reoccurring like emo punk music line is like, "Why are you?" And then it's like stuck in my head or something
I'm
like that. Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. That's like this the reoccurring line for me. But anyway,
yeah.
continue.
So funny.
It's so funny. Next question. What
Oh wait,
song?
real
Oh,
quick,
okay.
real
Never
quick.
mind.
Oh yeah,
I had
sorry,
a
Zia had
Your
a
turn.
question.
Oh yeah, you did. I
Yeah.
remember. Okay.
yeah. So this was like a follow question to not necessarily like how you guys write stories, but like for writing your guys' lore. Because when Autumn said like, "Oh, I don't really write," like uh early time of Autumn's PNG, not to out you,
Oh,
but you did write some of your lore.
I
And
did.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was really good. Um I was curious, so the first question, Corey, uh like how long did it take you to really find the concept of like your lore? I knew you like for like Ice Princess and like uh Isekai and stuff like that. But uh how long did it really take you to really like hone in on your lore? Because I imagine like you went back and forth here and there, or like, or if like you didn't, like I'm just curious like the timeline, like how long did it take you to really form Kori Ojo's lore?
That's a good question. I mean, I want to say it's kind of an over time thing because I started off with like the basic concept. Like, I think this is one of the few times where well, no, I think I still started with the world of Xylon. Like, I still knew, like, okay, I want this character to be on in this type of setting, and that was Xylon. So I think I did
Mm,
start with that, but then, I also need to think about what I wanted to be as a streamer. And I knew that I really wanted to be like the Gat Moe, right? So I had the
yeah.
crazy raccoon personality and the appearance of an ice princess. And
Mm,
so then the character kind of spawned from that. So I had like a really strong foundation for Kori. I probably put that together within like 2 days.
oh
Like
wow.
well, I wrote it initially probably in like an hour, and then I went back to it the next day to see if I still liked it. Is usually it's pretty much like how why it's 2 days, but it's pretty
Mm,
quick. But I'd say like technically speaking, it's been over time because I formulated a lot more. Like Act the Raccoon wasn't a part of the original lore by any means, you know
mhm,
what I mean? But I formulated it more based off of like what the community grabbed onto. And
mhm,
so as I wrote like the first visual novel, I think that's really where I sat down and continued to really pluck out the details and create those and write that story out in a way that like someone else could really understand.
yeah.
So I think that's like really where I sat down and figured all that out. And then obviously the second visual novel, which is a continuation of the lore. So I don't know. I mean, it's definitely something that I think you formulate over time, especially as a streamer,
Mm.
because I
Mhm,
think it's important to incorporate things that your community holds on to into your own lore because it shows them that you're listening and it also incorporates your community, which is a fundamental part of content creation, into like who you are as a streamer or as a character. And so I think there's like really no end to actually like continuing creating the story. The story doesn't have an ending yet until I decide to stop doing this, really. You know? So
mhm,
that's kind of how I feel. But yeah, I think the basis, like the fundamental, like just like the foundation of who Kori was in the world, it probably only took me like an hour or like
wow, that's
but
Mm.
crazy.
it's because I have
That's awesome.
experience in writing though. Like I'm not here to gloat. It's literally just like I've just done it like so
Freaking
much.
Stephen
Yeah.
Hawking over here,
Okay,
making a
all right.
novel every
Man.
Freaking,
month. My God,
No,
freaking,
I
brag
can't do
about
that.
it.
I can't do
Listen
that.
here,
freaking
we're George R. R.
Stefan.
Martin over here. It takes time. I'm just kidding.
J JJ
Damn.
Tolkien over here. All
Yeah,
right,
Damn.
talking about
Tolkien.
the
but
Tolkien.
that that's a great answer. And that actually goes to next question for Autumn. Like
Yes.
Autumn, when you first made Autumn J. Fox, uh, you did like send me like some of your your lore and like in a way like episodic. What's cool, like I always say like Autumn, like his whole vibe of a person and of Autumn as the PNG or the VTuber uh gives off like such like short film, indie movie kinda, like, comfort vibe of
Mhm.
just like, "Oh, this is like a feel-good movie, feel-good story." And from what you, like, wrote in the beginning, it was beautiful. It was very much that, like, comfort of like, "Oh, I can relate to this person."
Mm.
Yeah.
Were you ever do you see yourself, like, going back to it and, uh, like, pushing like, creating more of that story? Were you thinking, like, maybe, like, how Corey did with, like, world building or just more of, like, Autumn's journey? Like, have you gave it, like, any thought?
Yeah, for sure. It's I think the only issue I had like with the initial lore that I was like writing out. The issue I had was I wrote everything kind of in the span of when my best friend left to Utah, and that was like a year.
Mm,
So I still do not have, like as Corey said, like it's more than likely going to be like a time span kind of thing with the lore
mhm,
writing, but I do have a basis for him. I funny enough, I'm writing another like story involving him
ooh,
that is basically a longer version of one of the songs I wrote. And
ooh,
I'm super excited to like finish that one up. Yeah, it's there's a song I wrote called "You Don't Have to Be Alone," and Autumn is basically um, he feels alone and meets a guy, and the guy just ends up trying to show him that doesn't have to be the world that you live in. Like the world in your head that you've
mm,
completely built up doesn't have to be the world that you're living in, and that's currently um what I'm working on. It's funny because
aw,
am using I'm using this album. Let me look it up really quick. I'm using this album, and every song in that album is a chapter of the story. I think it's called like oh my gosh, give me a second. I'm looking this up.
no worries. Oh, yeah, it's right here, Wonderwall? Let's see, let me see.
Wonderwall? No. No, that's not it. Oh my gosh. I'm
The
just
newest
hoping I
Cupcake
don't.
album.
Newest Cupcake
Oh,
album.
the album it's by this lo-fi artist named In Love with a Ghost. I really love their
Oh,
music a
yeah,
lot.
you showed me them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's an album that they have called literally called Gay Story. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let me put my song put my song into a story and like use some of the songs in this album for inspiration. Because initially the song, one of the lyrics is like, I was, the lyric is, I was talking to a boy who came to cheer me up. The original lyrics was I was talking to a girl,
Mm,
and I recorded boy instead because it felt right.
Mhm.
So yeah, um,
aw,
yeah, there's that. To
nice.
answer your question, yes, I'm going to get to it.
Real.
I
That's
will get
fair.
to it when I
Take
get
your
to it.
time. Take your
Take
time.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I'm very excited to write more for it. The way that
Mhm.
Zio described my storytelling is very like visual novel, and I'm like, you know what? It might be.
Yeah,
It
I
might
like, I could see
be.
a visual novel or, like, webtoons, I just see, like, his art style, like, painted that way. Like, even how his
Mhm.
PNG looks, like, I could just see that, like, totally, like, those hour games that, like, are animated or yeah, just, like, being impactful for that hour, you know?
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
No, I
Thank you for the
appreciate both of you
question.
guys' response. That was perfect. No, I love hearing your guys' like stories as like obviously like I'm not by the way, I'm not a PNG tuber or VTuber. This is who this little guy with the mask is me. Uh, just less pale. Yeah, the guy made me a bit pale in the art, but it's just so cool to hear your guys's like lore and your story.
Chapter
Also, it's
1,
cool.
my first
Yeah,
period.
damn. Gonna skim through some chapters.
Damn, chapter 2, when the balls dropped.
All right, third chapter it is. You know what? I'm just gonna go to epilogue.
Damn. Sorry, what were you
But
saying?
yeah, anyway, I was trying to be nice.
Ruined
Um,
that.
but just like it's so cool to like witness this because really like I've heard about VTubers and PNG tubers, but I really got more open to them when I found Corey and then of course Autumn. And it just like opened a whole new world to me. I'm just like because I love stories. Like by the way, like the mask I wear, my little character is the mask of a storyteller. I love stories. I play story games. So gradually, like I love, in a way, like good characters, and you guys are. I mean, you guys are you, but like I love the character you represent as you, and it's just so cool to witness like your guys' story unfold even more because I see like other VTubers and BG tubers. I'm like, you guys are just you guys are just you. Like you guys are not really like you're not really like not just be like a dick, but like you're not really interesting. But like you two, like obviously I have a connection with you guys, but just seeing your story unfold and like get like grow more and more
Mhm.
as you guys like find yourself really. It's just so beautiful to see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
power to you
Thank
guys.
you.
So
I feel
yeah.
like the
I'm
meme that, sorry, not to cut you off. I was gonna say, sorry, Zio.
Mhm.
I was gonna
You're
say
fine.
the meme that like exists in the VTubing community is that like when certain people, not everyone, but certain people will start VTubing and like they're trying to get their design, but they want to be like a tiger, but like a demon that also eventually rose up to become an angel. So they have like demon horns
Uh,
and they have angel wings
that
and they have cat ears. Like
Yeah,
that's like the meme of like the VTubing world.
legit.
that's
Yeah, is
That
that
sounds like
like
the meme of like storytelling too, of just like
right? Like bad
I was
RP.
got gifted demon powers, but I'm good and like I'm badass and
Yes.
basically like like totally not inspired by Devil May
He's
Cry. Like
like,
it just like
I drive a Chevy Silverado and also drink boba.
I got a sight and it's so
That
cool.
was so cool. My
I got
blood
a
turns like purple in the moon.
black.
Oh, okay.
And good luck editing that,
Totally
Zio.
not speaking from experience. I'm
Oh my
so cringing at myself right now.
That's why I was like, you know what, Fox?
At least you're one thing.
Yeah.
You're just this is your thing and that's it. That's good. That's better.
Thank
I
you.
feel like when you get so complex, it's like the story just becomes comical. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
almost like
Yeah.
cartoonish. You know, it's like, well, I know that we're supposed to be anime people, but we are
Yeah.
people. You know. Yeah. Anyway,
That's why I
that's
like.
what I wanted to
That's
say.
so
That's why
that's
I
so
like.
funny.
That's why I like Arthur, like the kid show, because like they're clearly animals, but they're so human to the point where some of them annoy you. And it's like
so
I would
real.
put, yeah, it's like I would punch one of you guys in the face.
I would punch one of you guys is crazy. Isn't that like a children's show?
I did
when
not.
I was a
I did not
kid,
grow up on Arthur.
did you not? Terrible.
I thought you
No,
meant Red Dead Redemption 2, Arthur.
I did too. I was like,
Nah, nah. The Arthur meme where he's like holding his fist like
Yes, fist,
that's
yeah.
that's my favorite.
What the fuck?
um
sorry.
you're good. Next question. I legit forgot the question that I was gonna ask before I interrupted you. We could go back. I want to go back to the concert because Weight
Yeah.
of the World was such a fucking good song. It was such a
Yeah.
good pick. I
Yeah.
was like trying to hold back tears. I saw Cherry looking at me. She was like she was gonna see if I'm gonna cry again because I cried at
Aw.
karaoke and I was like, oh no, this one's gonna hit a little
Oh,
too hard. This is
freaking
gonna
at
hit.
karaoke. Like I got emotional. Like I freaking made my sister cry because she saw a video of us like singing, like what's the song?
It was Steven
Here Comes a
Universe.
Thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, here comes a thought, and like at the very end of the song, you gave me like a big hug, and like my sisters immediately started crying. I was like, oh,
Aww.
That's so cute. But in your behind the scenes stream, you said that song holds significance, like special significance for you. Do you
Mhm.
have like any other songs, like video game or not, that had the same impact before listening to that?
Hmm. That's an interesting question. I would say there are like a very small handful. Like off the top of my head, I said this during the behind the scenes video as or stream as well, but I talked about this one song called Sia by Dead
oh,
Mouse.
Dead Mal
Yeah.
it's such a
5.
good
Dead
song.
Mouse. But yeah, I that one's like 6 minutes long, so I would not use that for the concert. Way too fucking long. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I just like it's got a groove to it. It's not like super dancey, but you can groove to it. So I like that song for the beat, but I also like the lyrics in it because I listened to that song mostly like in college. I
Yeah.
think, and so for me, it was just like a song that I felt like it kept me awake. One, because I was like half asleep and running on just hope and a dream and stress, but like it kept me awake. And then two, it just reminded me of like how I felt when I was writing, like how I felt so powerful when I was able to tell a story. Like that's when I felt my highest was when
Yeah.
I was writing a story. And so I was trying to
Oh,
remind myself of like, hey, you might feel so small right now and so stressed out and like you can't accomplish anything, but don't forget that you can accomplish something through your words, through your stories, through your narratives. And so that's what like that song it had that
oh,
impact on me. Don't say fucking oh, I'm a big man. I'm a big
oh.
boy.
Oh.
No, dude, I'm not. I'm like getting emotional. I'm like, fuck. That's so like, oh.
I'm just kidding, but yeah. So I'd say that song has a lot of impact for me. And I think aside from that, I have a lot of songs that are just like instrumentals that I used to like just write to. Like I like to write really like cinematic scenes, and so I'll listen to a song over and over again, and I'd write and pace the like story or that particular scene so that way it matched the music. And so those
Mm,
songs will always there's no vocals at all, so they wouldn't work for the concert, but like they just stimulate like my brain into writing or just like remembering this like movie scene in my head and how I wrote that down on paper and my
mm,
imagination.
Mm.
So I think like those types of songs where it's just instrumentals but they're like epic music, like battle music and stuff like that, because I used to really like writing fight scenes and battle scenes. And so like I like to listen to those sometimes to like help me feel inspired to like listen to music. Like I definitely was listening to that type of music while I was writing Kori's story, like specifically for this second visual novel, because it was
mm,
less like goofy than the first one. There was still like
definitely.
silly elements, but it was a lot more serious, And so like I wanted to listen to music that felt a little bit more intense and serious, and so I was listening to that kind of music.
Mm.
So that music has an impact on me as well. I think outside of that, I don't really have like vocal songs that like I think really resonate with me. Because a lot of the music that I listened to when I was going through tough times, they didn't have vocals on it because I didn't feel like at the time anything could really relate to me.
Yeah.
But like the Near
Hmm.
soundtrack had such a big impact because it was like a different language, so I could just zone out. I'm not thinking about like the words or the lyrics, and also it's just
Yeah.
beautiful. It was just like all of the emotions. It didn't have to be like understood through words. It was understood through like the instruments, which is normal. That's how most songs are, I know.
Mm,
But like I really felt that way with like the Near soundtrack, and that game left like an impression on me. And I played it when I was in college, so
Yeah.
I was a little bit late.
oh.
Yeah, I was a little bit late to play it. Like I did not play it when it first came out, but
Mm.
I played it in college, and it just like really hit me, I guess, and
Uh,
the whole soundtrack just hit me, and so I kept listening to that shit, and and I loved it. So
yeah.
honestly, any song from like the Near soundtrack, I'd like to have in if I ever do a concert again, I'd probably have another near song, to be honest. But Weight of the World,
Mhm.
like, I'm very happy that you said, well, I'm happy and also like sorry that you felt like you're gonna cry during Weight of the World, but it was purposeful. Like, I wanted to have it, one, because it was like, Near left such an impression on me and it got me through some very tough times, the soundtrack. Um but also because it did resonate with like me as a content creator and Corey as a character, and it was like it's a powerful thing, like when we get to that part where all those VTubers are up on the screen at the last chorus, because it really like kind of sinks in, like, oh shit, like, for me at least, this is my opinion, like my perspective, like, oh shit, like Corey put this together, like all of these
That
VTubers
Yeah.
yeah.
here, collectively are on this screen and are singing this song and overcoming their hardships and challenges to be on the screen together, and we're doing this together though, and Corey helped make this happen and bring this to light, and so that's also the other reason why it was so important for me to have Weight of the World and to have all of them sing the last chorus. It was a bitch to mix and master,
Yeah.
but
Oh, I
it
bet.
was
Yeah, I bet.
but it was very important for me because I felt like it would really like just make it shine that much better. And I'm glad I did it, because it definitely, like, once it all came together, I also felt like a little bit emotional, because like, oh shit, like this is
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
so I'm glad you also felt emotional. Like, I wasn't alone in feeling like, tear jerker a little bit.
Yeah. It,
Same thing, like, from seeing it, just, like, that's yeah, exactly what you said, that was, like, at least, like, my thought, and I'm sure Autumn's as well, but,
mhm.
like, only Kori Oujo could have done this, and it was just amazing to see all the amazing talents sing
Hmm.
together, and, like, what's cool, like, me and Autumn, like, saw familiar faces in there, I'm like, "Oh my god, there's this person, there's that person,"
Yeah.
like, it just, like it really did feel like connecting the world of VTubing, uh, through that song, and
Hmm.
it was just like, you would never that's why I really, like, stand by this, like, nobody besides Kori Oujo could have done your concert your way. Like, all other, like, VTuber concerts are just, like, very I would say rules and, like, feel like, oh, standard like, it has to, like, do certain things, stay in the box, it has to stay in this little box,
Hmm.
and but the way you did your concert was such a experience for everybody as a whole, and I told you this, but, like, you inspire, like, people on the spot, like, I saw it with my own eyes and just I saw the passion everybody felt from you and all the other singers, and it was just yeah, it got me freaking emotional, like, it was just beautiful to see, but yeah, just wanted to mention that.
That's sweet of you to say. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I'll get my check in the mail, right?
Yeah, yeah, really. Slide you the 20. No, yeah,
It's like right on the table too, just like yeah, here you go. There's
yeah,
just
Just awkwardly, just, like, being passive closer.
yeah. Damn.
that's so funny.
Yeah. Put it on a
I
string.
I agree. I like the with instrumentals being impactful. They definitely are. There's a song that I used to listen to a lot. I still like visit it from time to time, but there's a song where I was like feeling super down about my friend leaving and just me not having anything like streaming to go back to. It really bummed me out. And I remember she showed me this song from this movie, which is a fantastic movie, by the way. It's called Little Miss Sunshine. And there's a song that's on there that's called The Winner Is. And I listen to that song every time I feel down because it's so inspirational in a way, and it doesn't even have to like words telling me there's no words in the song telling me I can do this because it just like it just makes it easier for me to tell myself that when I'm listening to it. And
Yeah.
I yeah, it makes sense that it makes sense. It's just so like insane how music can do that, especially without words.
Yeah,
Mhm,
absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Like, the music, like, you guys make and like, I'm not a musician at all, but, like, I do something similar with, like Corey does, where I listen to music to help me inspire me to, like, write certain stories because I'm able to, like, envision the story even clearer in my mind before I
Yeah.
Mhm.
write it, and it really does, like the music does trigger those emotions and memories of like, just emotions, feelings, memories, like, it it really does, like, feel like real life magic, and that's how I feel with, like, your guys' music because you guys know I've heard so many people's, like, music, like, "Yo, check out my SoundCloud," or, like,
My mixtape.
eh, "My mixtape, Ayo." Like, meanwhile, I was like, "Hey, I did this cover." I'm like, "I don't wanna listen to your goddamn cover." I prefer, like, original music
Yeah.
100 times, and that's a hot take in, like, every sense, like, I don't care, I'll stand by it. I love your guys' original music 100 times more,
No.
um, because, like, it just shows your authentic selves of, like, "Yeah, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this," and, like, you stand by your music, and it shows your emotions, and you're able to, like, show it to others, not just, like, a catchy jingle or, like, a TikTok short of, like, the hook or the cat or whatever the hell it's called. Um, in my opinion, like, those aren't memorable. Like, what you guys make that show your truest emotions is the most memorable thing.
Hell yeah. I think something that came up the other day that somebody said in, I don't know, I think it was in my chat, but somebody said like this take, and I'm not trying to call them out, but somebody was like, "Oh, I think cover songs are just like a stepping stone to original music."
Mm.
And
That
I
was
think
me.
that was
Oh,
you?
wait, no. No, no, no. Oh, wait, never mind. I
It
said
sounds
something
like
mean.
something
That
you would
wasn't
say
that.
that.
I don't
Oh, like,
know, but go
but
ahead.
go on.
No, do you want to go or you want me to go?
Uh, I'll just be mean, so you go.
Oh, damn. Okay, shit. But I was gonna say that I don't think it was Yuzio, but I'm not sure. I'm not trying to call them out, but I think it. I disagree with that because there's plenty of people who can or sorry, there's plenty of people who can sing cover songs, but there's not a lot of people from that can write their own music. It
Yeah.
is very
Yeah.
different. Like I think if you can write your own music, then yes, you can do a cover song because it's pre-written and everything is done with professionals. Multiple people sat down and wrote that song. It wasn't just Cardi B that wrote that. It was like it was an entire team of people. If you look at Beyonce's like album Renaissance, for example, there's like 20 to 30 people on that album, not just
That's
Beyonce, but
insane.
that team brought that together, and it was a beautiful album. There's a lot of great songs on there, you know, and I think people forget that. Like they forget that songwriting is a job in itself. Like there's a person who
Mm,
just writes the song, and then there's a person who produces it. Then there's a sound engineer.
Hmm.
Like there's multiple people that work on one song. One
mhm,
original song. If you do a cover song, guess what? Usually those cover song instrumentals are already available, so that means no production work, no
mhm,
sound engineering, none of
mhm,
that. You don't have to mix and master those instruments either, usually. And then you just have to record, I mean, not just have to, but you record your vocals, you record your harmonies, maybe if you do harmonies, some people don't.
Hmm.
And boom, you put that on top of the track and maybe you mix and master it, and that's like the main thing that you do with those. But there's so many tiers to original music that it is literally like no, and some people
yeah,
don't do well with original music because they don't know how
yeah,
to they don't know how to write a song like that. They don't know how to do lyric writing, or they don't know how to create a melody that sticks either.
yeah,
It's a whole different game. It's very
and
easy to do cover
yeah.
songs. Sorry, I'll stop in a second. But
Oh, no, you're good, sorry.
it's very easy to do cover songs because it's already pre-written. Like everything's done for you. I think the only other way that some people do original music is that they have an entire team do it for them. Like
Mm,
someone else writes the song, the lyrics, and does all the production work. Like you just tell them, I want to make a song, or you buy the rights to like someone's old shit. You know what I mean? And then you go from there, like what JoJo
mhm.
Siwa did. So, which was not a great example, but like I'm just saying that she did do that, so people know about that story. I just figure I use that. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Zio.
No, you're good. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I, like, it getting heated, like, my god. Like, I don't like, cover songs are cool, but it's a lazy way of getting attention,
Mm,
and that's a hot take. It is. I know it is, and I probably will people would disagree, and that's totally fine. I do like some cover songs. I'm not saying I don't. I just really like it shows off who you are when you show off your original music, and it's like I
right.
agree with you where, like, it takes a lot to make an original song, I
Mm,
know, but I do think, like, it's good to learn from trial and error, though, where it shows, like, "Oh, I'm learning, I'm getting better, I'm, like, putting in this effort. Oh, okay, I'm gonna hire a sound mixer, I'm gonna hire this and that." But I know, like, some people just can't do it and just prefer to do covers, which is totally fine. I'm not saying don't, but like, I always, like, try to think of, like, how unique I can be as a content creator,
mm,
and, like, I if I was a musician, I would do the same thing where, like, I want to make my own sound where you can see where it's, like, I got influence from, but not, like, nobody can like, for example, like, Autumn's and Corey's music, like, you guys have your sound, and I hear it. I'm like, "Ooh," like, it, like, tickles something in my little brain that, like, makes it feel, like, authentic of, like, yeah, like, this is them. Like, this is their music. Not like, "Oh, this reminds me of, like, 5 songs," or whatever, or, like, "This sounds like this song." Like, you guys are creating the music as you.
mm.
So, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
That's what I'm just saying.
that's so funny.
But
I was gonna say there are covers where they do change it up for their style, and
Right. Yeah.
those are the covers that I
mm,
can
yeah.
absolutely like
I get
absolutely
behind
vibe with.
those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
get behind
Yeah.
those.
Mhm.
My sister showed me this cover by Hosier. He did a cover of an Arctic Monkey song, and it's
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and it's like it's such a weird, different take on that song because like the Arctic Monkeys song for "Do I Want to Know" sounds very like scantily clad. Like, oh,
Mhm.
we're gonna do the thing, we're gonna do the do
No,
right
it was
now.
yeah,
And then
it was really
Hosier,
good.
yeah, and then Hosier's version, it sounds like he's actually in love with this person and he can't wait to meet her again. Like,
Mhm.
Oh,
that's
Mhm.
yeah. So like,
I agree.
it really depends. Like, if they actually just use the instrumental, then it's like, okay, that's lazy. But if they
Yeah.
make the instrumental theirs in their style, have the same lyrics and all of that stuff, but just make the instrumental different, then I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that.
I
Mhm.
agree. I think
Same.
something that also is skewed, like my industry, the VTubing industry, is
Mhm.
Japanese musicians as well. I found out that like the way that at least for like some Japanese artists or other artists from other countries, like they actually see, oh, cover songs that VTubers do with our music is beneficial for everyone involved. Like that's how they see it. So they
Mm.
actually like allow some like certain songs, like they'll just give out the instrumentals too. And
Oh,
like
wow.
there's like a whole database of like artists that like, yeah, you can use my music and like you can monetize it or we won't take anything from it. Like as long like just give us credit, obviously. We'll
Mhm.
give you the
Oh.
instrumentals. Like so the Japanese market, I feel like has and obviously VTubing kind of stemmed from I think Japan or at least from another country. And so I feel like it really has impacted the way that cover songs are done and seen in my
Interesting.
industry specifically because like of how open it is. But the problem is that I'm American, unfortunately. And so,
Mhm.
American artists and copyright laws are very strict here. And
Yeah.
like, there's no artists that are like willing to like, oh yeah, it's gonna help all of us involved. Like nobody's fucking like that. Everybody's fucking stingy and shit.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
we don't really have that here, but the Japanese market does. And so, yeah, I think VTubing has been affected by that, and thus there are more cover songs, and that's more of
That
like what
makes
the meta
sense.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I did not know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and I think like cover songs can be a good stepping stone to understanding your own voice
Hmm.
for sure,
Yeah.
like your own style. Like I've seen a lot of people, they take inspiration from the style of Otto, where they're kind of Otto as an artist, Ado, Otto,
Oh,
however you
Yeah,
yeah.
say
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
They kind of like growl a little bit in some of like their lyrics, but it's not like a
Mhm.
full on metal growl. It's like just like a huh,
I got
and then they like Yeah, and then I can't do it personally,
Yeah.
so
Freaking love auto is awesome.
yeah. So I think like it's really some people have taken that and like made that their own, and like that's kind of like what their singing brand is or their sound is. And so I think it's important to practice singing other songs so that way you can learn
Yeah.
how they accomplish this sound or accomplish like this emotion, because that's
Mm.
definitely like something that I have to work on too, is like
Yeah.
getting the emotion out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's definitely it's important, but I think it's like you could just do karaoke and learn that way and not
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
invest, because like for me it's like it's a whole investment to do a cover song, like to get the instrumentals or to
Yeah.
do all the production work for that. Like that, fuck that. If I'm gonna do all that work, then I might as well just do an original song, is how I feel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that's maybe it's me really, but
Yeah, no,
I
I
do
yeah.
like your slow dancing in the dark cover. That was awesome.
oh, thank you. God, that was so long
That
ago.
was
Don't watch
so long
that.
ago.
Don't watch
It's so
that.
good.
It was a good cover. I
Anyway.
liked it. But
Next question.
I
Next
next
question.
question.
Okay.
That's so funny. I do agree. Like definitely doing karaoke a lot helps you with singing and finding your
Mm.
style of singing. I've been recently doing like jazz songs for karaoke, so now I'm like trying to
Ooh.
train my voice into being a little softer, but like also noticeable. If that makes any
Yeah.
sense. Yeah,
No, I get you.
Mm.
yeah. So yeah, working on that. So well, I'll let you know the progress.
Jazz is interesting
Ooh.
because you have to fluctuate, or not all the time, but depending on what type of jazz you're listening to,
Mm,
like fluctuating between like softer tones, so that way your like louder like diaphragm singing can be
yeah.
seen better. Like that's always like
Interesting.
that's really an interesting art to like hone in on, is like the jazz music, because I used to listen to a lot of jazz music because my dad would growing
Mm,
up. He listened to like the weird ass like indie jazz music too, and so it
That's
was just like
awesome.
random ass shit. But
yeah.
so like yeah, I listened to shit that was like Harry, 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 and then I listened to Skilly Baba the Day
Give it
Day
up,
the Weekend. Yeah.
Freeform jazz.
So
Wait.
I listened to all types of that
That's
type of music.
funny.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
I listened to Ella Fitzgerald and
Oh
Louis
yeah.
Armstrong like a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
Solid.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Mhm.
um I like singing Ella songs for sure.
Mm-hmm.
My
Yeah.
it's just really hard to like uh, do Louis' voice when my
Oh
voice is
yeah, for
like so
sure.
fucking
Yeah.
high. It's just like
Right.
I see tree.
Yeah.
Eyes on blue.
Next question. What's a song that you wrote that you have a love hate relationship with?
Damn.
That's so funny. Okay. Song that I wrote that I have a love hate really. There's a couple, actually a lot of them.
All of them.
No, literally. Do you want the list?
You
Okay,
can.
so the first ever song that I had a love-hate relationship with was Confessions in the Snow.
Hmm.
And that was the second song that I ever released. I fucking hate that song. But
Really?
yeah, I fucking hate that song for sure. And I think it's because of what went into me writing that song. It was like I was trying to write lyrics that I felt like would be cuter or nicer for the industry I was in, because I was like,
Mm.
okay, I tried to do a song that was like more me, which was like the dumb rap song LOL. And I was like, how can I like step into like this J-rock type thing, or just like anime fucking what do anime people want to listen to? And so I wrote a song kind of like based on that, and that was Confessions in the Snow. And I hated it because I was like, this doesn't feel like me. And like it just wasn't, it didn't feel right basically.
Mhm.
But then I wrote Confessions in the Snow Part 2, and that was a response back to like the person that wrote the first Confessions in the Snow. And so it's a love-hate relationship, because what spawned from the first Confessions in the Snow, which was Part 2, what spawned from that Part 2, it just feels so much more, it was one of my favorite like lyrically written, one of my favorite songs that I wrote. Um, at least at the time, it was Confessions of
Mhm.
Snow Part 2. That was my favorite like lyrics wise from Interstellar Ice as an album. that one was my
Mhm.
favorite. So it's a love-hate relationship because I like hated the story behind like why I started doing that and like that I tried to do it and then like I wasn't even like happy with the song at all. Like once I got finished like recording it and mastering it, I was like whatever, just fucking release it. And I'm glad I did it because I learned a lot from it. But yeah, so I don't like that song. I think I think what other love-hate relationship I have I don't know, that one's maybe maybe no, I don't know. I think I like all the songs from Celestial Curse, so it's hard to say if I have any ones from there.
Mm.
I mean, maybe Lonely but Not Alone. I know
Really?
that sounds crazy. Yeah.
Whoa. What? You heard it here
Gasp!
first.
No, because like I okay. So I wrote that song and I did that song because obviously it coincided with Content, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And Content was like me kind of talking about like I'm getting better, I'm happier with my content. And then Lonely but Not Alone was supposed to be now I'm getting comfortable again using my voice. And so obviously it's a very like subtle song and it's mostly just my vocals. But I don't know, it's a love-hate relationship because it's just not like a song that I feel like works for what I'm doing now. And I know it doesn't need to, but it's just like I'm not gonna perform this at a concert. Like
Yeah.
I know I did for TaioCon, but like that was like a smaller thing, and I was like, all right, fine, we'll do it. But you know, it's just like it's just a type of song that I feel like I can't ever really use again. Like I just feel like it's kind of a throwaway song at this point. But I really like the song. Like
Mm.
I enjoy those types of songs a lot more where it's more like a ballad because like again like I like to do more R&B type songs and that's kind of a
Mhm.
little bit closer to that compared to my other music. And so I really like Lonely But Not Alone, but I also don't like it because it just doesn't it's not something that I can really use even though I really like it. I guess that's why I don't like it is because I can't really use it. I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess those are what I would say. And then performance wise, I have a love-hate relationship with Permafrost performance wise because there's a lot of growling in
Really?
that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a hard song to
Yeah,
perform. So,
that
and
makes sense.
I my dumbass put it towards the end of the set list, so my like vocal cords are like extremely tired, or you know they're more tired by the end, and so I'm like, well, just gotta cross my fingers and hope I can hit all the notes. You know what I mean?
It
But
sounded
yeah,
great.
thank you, thank you. It's just all the training, because like yeah, the first time that or the first couple of times where I was practicing doing the entire set list, like rehearsing it. Whoo! I got this permafrost and I was like voice cracking all over the place. I was like, okay, we gotta figure this out, Kori Oujo. So yeah, eventually we figured it out. Anyways,
That's
that's my
awesome.
answers. Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you for asking.
Good answer. Good answer. Clap,
Thank you, thank
clapsio.
you.
Wait. I got you.
Oh
I got you.
my
Oh
I got you.
fuck!
Check
god.
this shit
God
out.
damn it!
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
This
on,
was a mistake. I
hold
shouldn't
on.
have said anything.
Wrong
God
one. Wrong
fucking
one.
damn
Do
Sorry.
you
it.
ever hit the right one first? Oh my
Wait, this is
god.
funny. Oh, wait. Oh, that was me. Sorry. Hold on.
I'm gonna drink my water. Well,
There we
thank
go.
you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. We're good.
My God, that's so funny.
I mean, you got to have a sound guy with a soundboard. Here I am.
Hell yeah.
Oh
It's
my
so funny
god.
because when I wrote down that question, I honestly don't have any answers for me. I don't have any answers for me. I liked that I wrote the songs that I wrote.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I can't have a love hate relationship with them. They're actually no. Hold on.
Oh,
Hold
now we're
on.
thinking about it.
Yeah,
Now
now
we're
I'm thinking
thinking.
about it. There's a
Mm-hmm.
song I wrote. Gotta go to my fucking discography.
I'm pulling it up to watch.
I'm curious. Do you still have the subreddit of like where you put the short stories? I'm so curious what the
No,
stories
because
you wrote.
the Reddit account I use is probably gone.
Autumn's like, hell no,
And like,
no,
fuck no.
no.
You're not gonna read those anytime soon, buddy. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Damn it.
There's a song I put out called "Used to Being Sad," and I thought it was a good song, and honestly, I put it out a little too early. I put it out a little too early because the ending drags on so long that it pisses me off. and I'm just like,
Oh.
and I'm just like, oh fuck, it's such a good song, but I fucked up by making this loop for 2 more minutes.
You should re-release it, remastered version.
I totally can. That's
Hell yeah.
that's if my fucking MacBook turns on at any point in
Ah.
time.
Damn. Look, I get that with like stories. Like obviously I'm not a musician, but with stories, like I have a love-hate relationship with the story I show most people, which is like Hold Hands. It's really
Mm.
good. Um, but it does like it's just like I know I could do better.
Mm.
I feel that.
And not to like discourage like my work, but like I'm a very harsh critique for my stuff and like my main book I really want to like make I've been working on that book for like years and Cold Hands is very much like a representation of just like it flows so well, but I hate that it flows so well that I want to do something different. Like I did like the bare minimum of like a story
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
like where I'm just like I know like it's like where I don't wanna keep going. Because I remember I did, like, a story after that, and it was, like, a more risky story, and, like, I like doing something that's not in, like, the inside the box.
Yeah.
So, like, I rather just, like, be as unique and crazy as I can. Like, just I don't like doing the normal, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I remember like when I first was talking to you, Zio, and I think this was
Mhm,
like on stream and you were in chat. That's what I mean by that. And I was talking about like, oh yeah, I like loved writing about terrible characters. Like just like terrible people characters. Like the main characters are like
mhm.
awful, terrible or something like that. And you were like, me too. And I was like,
Oh,
let's
villains!
go. Yeah, but like
Yeah!
villains. I mean,
Oh my god, yeah.
it's
Well,
hard to
bad, yeah.
explain. Yeah, yeah, like yeah. It's like they're villains, but you can't say that they're villains, per se. You don't
I
realize it until like later or like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
The
the
crazy
crazy.
ones, like
Yeah.
yeah, I agree sorry, continue, I don't wanna go into a tangent, yeah.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say, my like magnum opus fucking story is like it's one that deals with a protagonist that like has questionable motives and like it is something that like I feel similarly with you. Like I don't show anyone else that story only because I think it's such a great story that eventually one day I will turn it into something, and I don't want
Mhm.
anyone to take the idea. I'm not saying that you guys would, but I'm
Oh,
just saying like
no,
I've never
I understand
Let
that.
me
yeah,
just
like
put away my notepad real quick.
that's
We're not live,
crazy.
right? We're not live?
Damn. Anyway, but yeah, it's like it's definitely a story that I feel like it revolves around like a character that kind of is the villain, but not really. And obviously even in Corey's story, there's like that element of there's Blue Corey, who's kind of like who we think is the villain of the story, who we see as the
Mhm.
villain of the story, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Go ahead.
100%. No, when I played your games, like, let's start with the first one, like, when Blue Corey was introduced, it was so
Hmm.
cool, it was, like, build up, I'm like, "Oh, Blue Corey is, like, seems very cool," like, just, like, very, like it was, like, leading me to a like, leading me on to
Right.
a like, "Okay, Blue Corey is here to help Purple Corey." But then when that scene hit of just, like, Blue Corey's ulterior motives come out and just the crazy eye look and just,
Mm.
like, the music, the feeling, oh, I got chills, I still remember it, and it just hit so well because I love Mad Hatter characters. I love crazy
Mm.
characters,
Yeah.
and like I guess like a good representation. The mask, my character, my art is, it's the jester mask.
Right.
It's meant to be a trickster, meant to be. But like I call those characters like anti-heroes. They're not
Yeah.
Mm.
necessarily villains all the time. They could be, but I love anti-heroes. That's like my main thing. And anytime I get a hate comment that says "You look evil, you look like a villain," I'm like, I'm an anti-hero, bitch. Like, relax. But I, but no, I love that scene, especially going to your second game. when spoiler alert, by the way, those who have not played it, when Corey goes and follows God, this has been so long. But basically, there's a scene in the game where Corey is shown this entity,
Hmm.
and it's
Yeah.
very much a like death mark feeling of like it scared the shit out of me. I got jump scared twice, and it was so good where it was just like fuck, that's like that scared the hell out of me. It made me uncomfortable. What's
Mm.
great, like you talked about this on stream, but I want to point out because it's so amazing. Only like certain like people will understand, but like you had you purposely made it where if you didn't touch anything, it would just like the entity will just be staring at you, and the music will grow louder, and like you purposely made it like longer, or you could have like just spam a button and skipped to the next scene. But you purposely did it that way so people can feel the uneasiness, the uncomfortableness of like that dark entity of like you can feel like the fear Purple Corey was feeling, or
The
like
loss of control.
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, the loss of control. Where like oh fuck, like
Right.
I'm I'm in this situation. So like that
Hmm.
was like such a beautiful scene,
Thank
and
you.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree with you with like I freaking love villain characters. Like I like it's what's funny, like uh I like want to like voice act like for more villain characters, and I got to do that at Level Up, and it was I was told like has anybody told you you sound evil? I'm like my whole life. But
Aw.
I'm sorry, I
and I
didn't
was
mean to
able to
laugh at
use
that.
it. No, you're fine. No, like that's the thing. I'm the opposite. Like who I am as a person is opposite how I look. I try to dress like more like I don't know how to. I just I look like a Final Fantasy ass
I don't know, bro.
villain or whatever.
The second I saw you, I was like, "That's Zio. That's the goofy squid boy, and that's the soft goofy." I don't know if it's because I know you, but I was like, the second I saw you, I was like, "Yeah, that's Zio."
No,
Yeah.
that all right. That's sweet. Shut up. Uh,
Shut up, Sam.
nah, like my whole life I've had people like judge me from how I look, and a whole bunch
Yeah.
of crazy shit. But like hearing that from you guys is so refreshing, and that's why I try to push my like who I am as a person out more. Like I'm not, dude. I'm a fucking nerd, and like I love video games, animes, and like just being myself, living life at peace. And but like no, I love playing a mean villain. Oh, dude, my god, I was so like I bet I remember you said in your chat while I was playing the game when you're voice acting uh Blue Corey when she did like the evil laugh and a whole bunch of stuff. You said like you had so much fun doing that. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. I think it's fun to be blue Corey. Yeah, for sure. Anyway.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's it.
next
Anyway.
question.
Anyway, sorry, I'm getting water.
No, it's okay, same.
I don't have
Or
water.
Stay hydrated,
freaking
folks.
loser.
Freaking loser.
All
What are you
right.
not
What
getting
the
hydrated?
fuck?
What, you're not getting
Remember all the
hydrated?
nice things
H2O.
I said about you
H2O.
guys?
It's too.
H2O.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite part of the concert too. Just chanting H2O.
I I love when like Corey was giving her speech, like everybody was cheering, and apparently like Mama Corey was just like, "Shut up! I'm trying to hear my daughter."
Oh yes, yeah, that did happen. She, mom, and my mom's like, "Stop! Shut up! I can't hear her." Yeah.
Oh
Uh,
my god.
this is low key, probably the last one. um,
Loki 2 hours later.
2 hours later, this is the last one. If you could remake any of your songs, which one would it be, and what genre? If you did want to make it another genre.
If I could remake any of my songs.
Yeah.
Make Throne into a jazz song.
Yeah, right. Let me think about that. Wait, let me look. I don't know. That's a really interesting question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I made it myself.
Wow. Mm,
It's like the only reason I ask is because I did that for a song.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I did that for a song, and I'm
Mm.
like, has anyone else ever been through this?
Huh. I don't know. Maybe the price. I feel like I picked on the price a lot
Ooh,
today. But
Yeet.
maybe the price or isolation. I feel like the price I would
really?
try. Yeah, I feel like the price I would try to go backwards. Like I or do flip it. Like I'd be sad. Like a
Ooh.
quieter version of the price that isn't as like angry but maybe more like longing.
Ooh.
And then
Do
I
it
feel like
unplugged.
unplugged.
That's what it's
That's
called,
what it's
right?
called. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think for isolation, maybe doing the opposite as well, like making it more upset that
Mm.
fucking like I want to fucking be with
I
you. You
want
know
to
what I'm
be
saying?
with
I
you.
want to be with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Maybe, yeah, maybe I would try to do that.
That would be
But
really interesting.
yeah,
That'd be
either
really cool.
that.
You just
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, you're good, but that'd be really cool. Just do like just reverse the colors of the album photo and just
Just
like alternate Corey or like this is blue Corey singing.
Damn. Either that or I think hail would be a good one too. Because so the reason why
Mm.
I would have if I had to choose, I would rewrite hail as well is because for hail I completely like well not completely, but I mostly freestyled hail. And so it was the first time that I did that for Corey specifically. And so I would like to try to write like actually write to hail
hmm.
instead of like trying to freestyle to it. I would want to see what that
Mm.
would sound like instead. So,
Interesting.
yeah, that would be the other choice is hail. Anyway, that's it. Final answers.
Good.
Let's go to the board.
Let's go. Let's go on the board. Hail.
On the-
No, that was a good answer. Like,
that
yeah,
was great.
it was great. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to make you think a lot.
No, thank you for asking. I have a question for both of you, and it pertains to the concert.
Oh.
Hmm.
So like, which songs were you most excited to hear and experience? I guess, or like,
It'd
what
be
was your like?
mm.
I don't know if it's a two-tiered question. Like, for most excited to hear, and then most like best experience. I don't know.
Oh.
Like, I
Oh,
don't know if
okay.
it's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what's your first and
Mm.
second?
Right, right, right.
Yeah. I got you.
Oh.
Goes yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
guess I go. Um, it'd be funny. It's like, what's your least favorite?
Yeah. Oh damn. No, my
No,
fucking heart can't take it.
Yeah. No.
no, you're good.
We have to
Got
boost our
heartburn.
ego. That's what this is. I'm just kidding.
Heartburn. Damn, damn. Uh, well,
You walked
my
away.
Hello?
favorite.
Okay.
Are we on the toilet right now?
You
Are you
poo
Oh
going
pooing?
no,
Are you
to
poo
give me a
pooing right now?
moment. Click. No, I had to like grab something. So I guess my favorite. Can you say the question one more time? Sorry.
Damn. What song were you looking or like yeah, what song were you looking forward to the most? And then which song was like the best experience for you? Like you enjoyed experiencing a lot. I don't, does that make sense?
No, it does, it
It
does.
does.
Okay.
No, it does.
My okay, so I'll start with like I was excited for. Well, I
Mm.
didn't know what was playing it because I didn't get to read the set list. Because I was like passing it out.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
I didn't
right.
it was more of a surprise. So I was just like I left it to like I wonder what songs Corey's gonna play. And I love surprises, so I just like
Honestly, the
let
set
it
list wasn't even full. I didn't put down all the songs that I was doing
really.
because yeah, because I didn't want people to know. I wanted it to
Yeah.
be like I
Mm.
wasn't gonna put Armadillo Billy on the set list. You know what I mean? So
That'd be
That's
amazing.
fair.
Frontlining. You
damn,
just
the
make it'd
first
be
song.
It'd be funny. You just like have all your pamphlets of just like you, Corey, 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 and one of them is the
Armored.
cover of Armadillo Billy with his banjo.
Just remake one of the
Real.
pamphlets with Armadillo Billy in it. I'll
Yeah,
pay.
that'd
I'll
be
pay money for
amazing.
it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to
You're good.
mention.
That's so funny. But no, yeah, for sure. It was like I didn't know what you were gonna play, and I what's great, like I didn't know even like the opening acts or
Mm.
what the songs were, so
Hmm.
it was all really a surprise to me, and that made it more exciting. Like it's not like going to like dinner and like I gotta see what I'm gonna eat, or uh, it's really just like I wanted to be in the moment. So I didn't really
Yeah.
have any song I was looking forward to. I had some hopes. I was like, oh, okay, like Isolation I would love to hear on Melting Snow. And um I did thought I was thinking like, I wonder if Corey's gonna play Lonely but Not Alone, but I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah,
I
see,
Yeah.
hope
it's
so.
because of the pacing,
Yeah,
right? Because it's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's
It
like boring. No, but
yeah.
you know what I
No,
mean.
like it would like kinda like I wouldn't say kill the hype, but it just would be like a bump
Yeah,
through the
that's what I
concert.
mean. Like, it's so hard to that was the problem with the concert or the song and the concert.
Mhm.
It's like controlling the energy of
Mhm.
like the different songs. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like obviously we want to have some songs that are a little bit lower energy so people can relax a little bit and just like enjoy and vibe with that. But then you want to keep, then you want got to get back to the hype songs so that way you can keep the energy up. So
Mhm.
it was definitely a challenge, and I feel like Lonely but Not Alone does not allow for it's too
Yeah.
far
Yeah.
of a jump.
It Mhm. It would be fine if, like, you did, like you said, like a ballad or like a
Right.
like an unplugged. I mean, it's a term. Don't know why you guys laughing. If you
Ah!
do like,
Ah!
okay. Anyway, I guess my favorite was you ending the show. I'm just kidding.
Damn. When
No,
you
but
left.
when you left,
When
when we had
you
the halftime.
Oh, damn, the
No.
intermission, the bathroom, the communal
Yeah.
shitting.
the
Oh, that was fun.
10-minute communal shitting, yeah.
But no, really like my favorite. So my second favorite was really Turn the TV Off, and just
Mm,
because like that was just super fun
Mm.
of
yeah.
just like, oh fuck, like I just didn't expect that.
Mhm.
But like uh Isolation for sure was a good one. But the Race to the Top was absolutely my favorite.
Mhm.
It's just such a because it was so cool because like gradually, so when you first came on, I finally got out of my seat to like go down, join the guys up front to
Aw,
do.
thank you.
Yeah, I was like, I'm saving my energy. I'm like, shit. But I was like, I can't. Like, I was excited to dance and like cheer you on. And
Mhm.
what was cool just throughout the whole night, as you did each and every song, I started to notice like the crowd up front started to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
More people were coming up front,
Mhm.
and I just like found that like so amazing. And then once you got to like Race to the Top, like just the moment the song started, I was just like, "Oh fuck." And like you telling everybody to get out of their seat, it just like it confirmed like everybody is like inner like their introvert to be like, "Oh, I don't have to be like shy. Like I can be myself right now." And
Mhm.
everybody got up and everybody started coming up front. And like I you could see in the video for like the concert video you uploaded
Yeah.
uh where like you could see me in the right, but when I saw like Autumn come down with our friends and like more people started showing up, I got excited. I was like waving like my arms like fuck
Yeah.
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 And like the song was so like it's like I smile every time I hear that song, and like it really is like my new favorite because like I hold the memories of that, but also it gets me so hyped up and inspired.
Yeah.
And just seeing everybody's like bright lit faces and just dancing, not caring, and just like that's what I mean, like, there's no box for us, like, we're able to do what we want, we're able to do what makes us happy and be
Mhm.
ourselves. No judgment, that's the thing, no judgment. And, like, that's what I, like, have a lot of respect for you for, like, how y like, it showed off your community so amazing, like,
Mhm.
that is, like,
Mm.
the if I had to, like, give an example of your community, it would be that, and it would just, like, show, like old friends becoming new friends and like new parts of new syrups. It was just so beautiful to witness, and that's why it just holds such like my number one pick.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so like it's just I'm so happy like you made that song. Like I know it's like for like the NASCAR stuff, but like really like it did hit a lot of people's hearts that night,
Yeah.
and I'm sure many people through the stream too.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%. Go ahead, Autumn.
All right. Go
No.
on.
Oh, you want me to say words? Oh, right. I forgot. Okay.
Shit.
Shit. I'm just vibing, dude.
Oh yeah, just dance.
I'm just vibing. Okay. So, the song I was looking forward to absolutely was Isolation. 'Cause
Damn. Well, I'm glad
eh,
glad I mentioned both of you. I remembered to mention
yes.
both of you.
Yeah, I was
The
like
video.
as soon as I heard the shout out, I was just like, no fucking shot. It's like no way.
As soon as I heard Proxy, I was like, "This
Yeah,
motherfucker."
he
Yeah.
looked at me right
You
after.
were so upset. So funny because Autumn's like, yeah, and you're like, excuse me, what?
It was
Yeah.
so
So
fitting.
funny.
It was
By
just two different
proxy.
reactions at the
Yeah,
perfect timing. I was laughing
exactly.
so hard watching that clip. I was just like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, that explains us so
Yeah.
perfectly."
but the but the one that I definitely liked a lot. Damn, why are you making me choose? You said
Yeah.
Mhm.
you said I liked Vice. I liked Vice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one
That was
hundred
awesome.
percent. Like the energy near the end of the song, like was unmatched.
Mhm.
I love Race to the Top for sure, but
Such a
my
basic bitch.
god, the
Okay, choose another
yeah,
song. I'm just
just another
kidding.
song.
Damn.
No,
I'm
I like Race
kidding.
to the Top, but just like Vice, hearing everyone scream Vice,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my god, that was the coolest fucking shit, and I was just like, dude, people people fuck with Corey, and that's
Yeah,
yeah, people fuck with Corey, and it's
totally.
fucking showing like 100%. I was so happy that like that was a part in the concert where I was like, yeah, this is probably one if not the best night in a
Mhm.
Oh,
concert
thank you.
that I'll ever have. I wouldn't say
Mhm.
you're like what you were the best concert that I've been to, but it was really,
Oh.
but
Oh, okay.
but
He's like,
I
oh,
see how
that's
it
definitely
great.
is.
it's definitely up there. Hey, listen, all right, I got to actually hug
That song reference.
I got to hug an artist at one of the concerts I went to, so like that,
I
I
mean,
couldn't hug.
didn't you hug Corey's iPad? What the
No,
hell, dude?
You hooked a
I
Hawaii
hugged an
towel.
iPad. I didn't
All right.
hug Corey's iPad. It
All
was just
right.
an
I got camera shy. Okay.
she got camera shy. She was like, I don't really like Flash. Apparently.
What makes it
Exactly.
funny? The photo of, like, me and Corey, like, I'm doing the hover hand, so it legit looks like
Yeah.
a ghost.
Yeah. It looks like we're all just photoshopped in there. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. No,
That's
I
But
think.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, but, just real quick, like, yeah, that night and all of Level Up seriously was, like, a highlight for my life.
mm,
Hmm.
Just wanna say that.
Yeah, I feel the same. I think for me, I was actually talking about this with one of my homies last night, and was it last night? I don't know, but I was talking. They asked me like how I'm feeling about like they don't really watch me, so they're just like, oh, how's like content creation and shit and like streaming, and I was like, I've been actually feeling really good about it, and I
Oh.
think it was like it's been the first time in a while that I feel like I haven't like I'm not mad or frustrated and I'm also not like necessarily super happy about it. I just feel like chill. Like that I'm just like
Mhm.
I feel I feel like good like for the most part okay with it. I don't even think I'd say good. I'd just say like okay. Like I'm just kind of cruising right now. And it's the
Mhm.
first time that I've felt that for like so long, I think. And I think it's because at Level Up and at the concert, that was like literally the first time anything like that has happened for Corey,
mm,
and it really allowed me to actually see a visual and audible representation of the community that I have, and it just reaffirmed like something that I think is a core part of why I'm still doing VTubing and streaming, and it's the idea that like people can meet each other through my community and through the streams and whatever goofy shit I decide to do. Like people can meet each other and like make friends and be themselves. Like that
Mhm.
was always like the number one thing that I wish I could do if I had that ability. And I feel like the concert really allowed that to shine. And honestly, for the last like ever since the concert happened, it hasn't I haven't really thought about things that made me frustrated before, which was like, oh,
Yeah.
analytics and numbers, or like comparing when I shouldn't be comparing,
Mm.
or not getting opportunities and things like that. Like that really hasn't been a thing, because nobody could have ever given me the opportunity that I had been able to give to you guys, that I created. Like I created that opportunity for you all to be able
Mhm.
to be there and to be excited and to laugh and to cry and to hug each other. Like nobody could have given that opportunity to me. Only I could have ever made that. And I'm really thankful that I was able to do it. It just made me feel, or makes me feel like I have the power to do what I set out to do originally, or eventually, with like content creation, which was just to like make people feel welcomed and have a safe space to be themselves. And so it's really nice to feel like I can do that. And I think like for the first time in a long while, I've felt more at peace with like my streaming journey and my content and stuff. And that's not to say that I'm like just sitting on my hands. Like there's a lot that I'm doing still to improve and to grow, but it's really thanks to the concert and honestly just seeing genuinely everybody smile and have a good time, that like it makes me inspired to continue doing what I'm doing, I guess. Like it doesn't matter about anything else. Like I just want to keep making that type of environment for people, basically. So, anyways, basically I'm saying thank you for going to the concert, Zio and Autumn, and for like feeling like you can be yourself, because I know that's like it's a scary thing to do sometimes. It's a little bit vulnerable, and it was really nice to feel just from your feedback and from even just watching you guys in the videos when I was watching it back. Like I could feel just like you guys being yourselves and in unfiltered being you and being happy, and like the genuine smiles on your faces just like made every second, every blood, sweat, and tear that I dropped for the concert like worth it, basically. And so that means a lot, truly. Anyway, that's it. So you guys ready for repo now, or?
$10.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait, I'm paying you
um,
guys for that still?
Yeah.
for my therapy.
For
Oh, okay, damn.
$10 for therapy. Where are you getting therapy?
I know, shit.
I'm paying
Shit.
myself. I'm like, you good? I'm like, no.
My dog's barking. Give me a second.
All right.
Uh, my God. Oh Christ, dude. Why you just fucking drop that
Okay.
after that? That's a way to end the freaking
What?
special. My God. My freaking
Sorry.
like how
Who let the
could
dogs
you?
out?
Sorry. My bad. My bad, guy. Hold
Oh
on.
my God. Jesus
I shit
Christ.
myself. No.
Yeah, there you
Anyway.
go. Now it's fitting.
God
Oh
damn
my
you.
God. That
Kori
God
disappeared
damn
on my stream. Hold on. Okay, she's back now.
What?
You're back now.
Oh yeah,
You're
you have to
back.
it.
keep it open and
Yeah,
served
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I, I, I,
Yeah, like
I,
legit.
I was like testing it out. I was like, "Oh, why you turn into lines? where are you
Why you
lines?"
lying?
Whoa.
But yeah,
But
thank you for the
uh,
conversations, guys.
Yeah.
Kori, thank you for being the first guest on this. Like, it was
yeah.
really. All right, fucking.
This is the last
Jesus
time.
fucking Christ. This is
Never
the
do this
last
again.
time. She's not gonna be on any more.
Last Christmas, I give you
She's
my
not gonna be on
dog.
any more Koi Bois specials. Unfortunate.
I'm sadly retiring.
Sadly retiring.
I'm graduating today.
I'm graduating.
Right now.
It's been such a pleasure. Thank you, V Show. I'm just kidding.
That's
Damn.
crazy. All right, we'll switch it to repo. But
Oh my
any last things you guys want to say? No.
God. I'll just say this. Legit, like I never, with all my friend groups in my life, I've never been as authentic as I am today. So I'm the truest form of Zio and behind Zio. So yes, thank you for that, Corey.
Oh man.
Yes, same.
Oh man.
let me piggy.
No.
Let me
Just
piggyback
say-
on that.
and just say yeah, same.
Yes, yeah. No, but like honestly, and I told Kori this at the I told Corey this at the concert, like after at the
The
meet
meet
and
and
greet.
greet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I told her that you really stoked a fire that was dying, and I know it was dying from like before I even met you. So it's really insane to know that I'm actually doing a collab right now. Like so, like
Aww.
a very important like conversation um
Yeah.
type conversation conversation type. Anyways, um
Conversation type B
yeah,
conversation.
type B conversation.
100%.
Yeah, no, but this was really important to me, just building this up and
Mhm.
actually you know putting it into fruition. Like my God, I am so happy that it turned out the way that it turned out. I was freaking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I freaked myself out though, like the whole week before this even like
Mhm.
we even fucking hit the go live button. I was freaking myself out, and for no particular reason. Have like a I just have anxiety up the ass.
Yeah, I get that. I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So I can't thank you enough for making this like a comfortable experience for me. Like,
Yeah, of course.
yeah, and you too,
Yeah.
Zia. You were here too.
You
Yeah,
were
yeah,
here.
by proxy, by proxy.
My
Just
proxy,
put
yeah.
me put me in the little like corner of the description. So it's like and
And
By
you, I
proxy.
guess.
I
Yeah,
guess he was there. I think
I, yeah,
yeah.
you like
that's
misspell my name. It's like ZIO.
ZIO. I put your old username.
I would
oh
So,
say
damn.
that.
that'd be
Got
Just a
crazy.
TV.
TV.
Oh my god.
A TV.
But yeah, no, like I'm so close. Like I'm so close to affiliate. It's my ass is like clenched for it.
Ah, heck yeah,
Yeah, so
dude.
like yeah, you really helped me push what I need to do for myself in order for me to like streaming more, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Mhm. No, for
Yeah,
sure, I get it. I mean, I want to reiterate what Zio said. Like, I don't like it when people say I'm proud of you all the time, but like, I genuinely feel like you put so much work into yourself and your stream, and like, I mean, the fact that like once in a while you come in and be like, I had a tough day because on stream because and this happened more often before, but like you would talk about how, oh, stream was a little bit wacky because I messed up or something happened.
yeah,
But the fact of the matter is that you get to tell yourself like that happened like several months ago, and you're still here. And that
mm,
like says something about who you are as a person, and that I hope that like you can have a little bit more confidence in yourself and knowing that like you have grown so much, and the fact that you were able to put together like a special, like you came up with this idea, you and worked with Zio on it, and like you really made this happen. Like this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you. And so just
100%.
know that like you are the one. Like yes, I'm part of the equation, but Autumn created this space to be comfortably having a conversation. Autumn created this space to be able to communicate and to talk about our feelings, and you created those questions, and like you really put this together, and I hope you can continue to find confidence in yourself. Like you did it already. So like now you just got to do it like two more times, and it's like boom, now it's like just a routine, like
yeah,
that's how
Mhm.
I see it, at least, right?
yeah.
So like that's a really strong thing to be able to hold on to. So as much as I don't like it when people say this to me, I'm proud of you, and I am very honored and glad to be considered your fellow streamer, community member, potentially a friend, even though I use that word very loosely because of the world that I'm in. But
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
I just say it for like meaning's sake to other people. But like you know what I mean.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
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 I get you. I pick up what you're putting down. Repo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Reaper. Anyway, Reaper.
Anyways, repo.
I want to make Autumn cry real quick.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
you can't do more
Ready?
damage than there already is. Hold on, dog barking
You
again.
say that now.
You can talk though.
No, I'm proud of you, man. I'm so proud of you. Like, I 100% agree with like Corey what she said. Like, when you told me about this project, I was ecstatic because like I've dealt with like a lot of people who um because like I would say I'm very passionate about what I do too, but I had a lot of people who don't put in effort around me when they like want to do something or like try to get me to do the work or something like that. And but this like you had full reign and you I remember talking to you about this project at our hotel for Level Up and just I could feel the passion in your words, and I knew you were able to create something phenomenal, and you did. And this was a phenomenal first episode. You absolutely killed it as a host. This is only the beginning of your amazing journey, and nobody like like I said, Corey, with her stuff, nobody can do this like you. So be proud of yourself. You are beyond amazing, and I'm excited to see how Autumn's journey goes with Koi Boy Special, but as well as
Mm-hmm.
you as a person. So I'm
Yeah.
proud of you.
So,
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
so Repo.
Ah! Wait, I have another thing to say. I like how we're just never ending. Wait, I do have something to say though. That's kind of like semi important,
Okay.
but it means a lot to me that you guys tell me about like, you know, as Autumn said, that I like stroked a fire that was dying in you, and for Zio, I helped you find yourself in some ways as well.
No, you
And
did.
there's actually a lot of people that I feel like, and this isn't to gloat, but I think there was a lot of people that I realized like that parallel those stories. Like I'm not gonna put air out Shogun's like history and stuff like that. But like Shogun
Mm.
also told me something similar, that Shogun went through something that was very intense and might I say traumatic in their life, and then later down the line found me and has, felt like that this is family and stuff to Shogun. And so I feel like very thankful and just honored, I guess, that I'd ever been able to create that kind of space for people. And just like it means a lot that you guys tell me those things though, because sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? And like, is what I'm doing, does it matter? Like that's sometimes that's a question that comes up as a content creator. And I feel like when I hear your guys' stories, it just reminds me like, yes, it does matter, Corey, you dumbass. So, like it means a lot. So thank you for telling me those things. And um by the way, I don't know if you knew this, but my mom did watch, like, she was here when I was doing the meet and greets. And so she did see you guys, like, cry and, like, listen to you guys. And
Damn.
she was like, oh, like, she was, and then she's like, why are you making all these grown men cry? And I was like, I don't know. But she also, like, really appreciates you guys. And she sees, like,
Oh.
just how important you guys are to me as well. So thank you for that. Anyway, now we can go to Repro. If Autumn's done crying like a little bit. No, kidding.
I don't cry. I
I
didn't
don't
cry. Your
cry.
mom's lying.
No,
Your
no,
mom's lying. I was just like, hey, here's a little gift from me. It's whatever.
bruh,
Anyway, quick
bruh.
photo.
It
Yeah, I'll take
was.
a photo with you.
I
Anything for
was.
the fans.
Anything for the fans.
I was sweating the whole time. That was
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sweating from your eyes.
I was sweating, and then I gave Zio a hug, so it was like a mixture of that.
Ugh.
Oh.
All right, there's no tears. There's no
Okay.
tears. All right.
Thank you
Thank you
for
guys for
watching the
watching.
Koi
We'll be
Boy
back
Special.
soon.
Wait, I muted. Wait, I
Oh,
muted.
you
Say
muted.
it. Say it again.
Oh,
Say it
oh,
again.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
That was
Well, let's
funny.
say it.
All right.
Let's say it in 3, 2, 3, 2,
This is gonna
1.
be bad.
Thank you for
Thank you
watching
for
the Koi
watching.
Bois Special.
Special.